Good morning.
Hello, everybody.
I think we're getting ready to start.
Yes, we are in week 7 of the Cargill division of the 5PL. Not sure if Brandon, if you are in here.
Here, can you hear me?
Yeah, you bet.
There we go.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, I will let you guys take over the show, and I will just be in the background. Have a good show, guys.
See you, Carrie.
Yeah, bye. This very big brother-esque. We can't see them, but we can only hear them. Okay. Well, who we got this morning? We got Rock and Rollers and Roses.
Okay, maybe I'll stay. So our first match is the Rock and Roller and Toppler Roses. Second match of the day is Rock and Rollers versus Caribou Thunder. Then the Rock and Rollers versus the Rebels, and the Toppler Roses versus the Thunder. We're just going to bring in our managers here really quick. No interview time. We'll just get their lineups and we'll get started here away. So without further ado, Shane Chafe and Stacy.
Morning.
Hi, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I'm just getting up. I don't know what you're talking about.
No kidding.
So Shane, Rock and Rollers, your lineup.
Yeah, we're going to go with Brandon
lineups.
Tibbs, Katie Wells, Mitchell Williams, myself, Brandon Smith, and we'll have Courtney Lucas and Brad on the bench.
Perfect. And Stacy, Roses.
Parker Anderson, Michaela Sanderson, Rich Weber, Christine Poksa, Derek Holm with Daryl Wood and Marcello on the bench.
Amazing. Have a great first match, guys.
Thanks. Good luck, Shane.
Yep, see you guys.
Well, here we are, match 1 of the day.
Yeah. Match 1 of 4.
Apologies for the little bit of a delay. Technical issues. That's all good.
Really take blame for that, even though it is mostly Shadow PC's fault.
Oh my gosh, no blame. It's all good.
One server on the West Coast, and it's under maintenance at the moment. But
Of course it is. Of course it is.
'Tis the season, I guess.
Well, as we were talking to Shane in the background, the Rock and Rollers are one of the fastest teams, so we'll get caught up in no time, I'd say.
Yeah, and they do have 3 matches today, though, so we'll see how much gas they have in the tank.
True. Definitely a Newfoundland heavy day today.
Yeah, it's because you said that they had some bowling this morning.
Yes, quite a few members of the team had some qualifying this morning. Newfoundland does their open qualifying a little bit different than a lot of the country. So it's similar to a Masters format where the competitors bowl different sets throughout the season. And this morning happened to be a set for a number of the Rock and Rollers.
Okay, so a lot of them had practice this morning.
I don't think all of them ended up bowling because you can miss a set here or there.
Okay, yeah.
But I know, like Brad Glynn as an example, he's not currently in the lineup because I know he was busy throwing balls this morning. And now leaving the center to go over to Plaza to compete with the Rock and Rollers. Well, matching spot 5 spares for the top 2 bowlers. This second line could be an interesting dynamic. I know Katie Wells and Michaela are quite good friends.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's been a little bit of ribbing going on back and forth.
A good hit from her, though. from Katie.
Yeah, she's definitely been playing very well this season thus far.
Yeah, I want to say I'm not too familiar with everybody down east for sure, but no, I met Katie last year at Diamond Ladies, and she had a pretty good run.
She did, yep. She's actually on the, as we were just discussing, the open qualifying in Newfoundland is a little different, especially because of our composition and the location of a lot of our bowlers. So the women's team has actually already been decided. There's a provincial roll-off about a month ago, and she'll be headed to nationals on Team Newfoundland.
That's awesome.
So spares to start, opens on the second line, and strikes in line 3. Keeping it pretty even thus far.
I'm going to take your word. I think I'm frozen on my end, but
I've not had much of a chance to keep up with everything. Who's in the lead right now?
It's
What's
pretty
the league right
even.
now?
Actually, it's exactly even.
for standings right now, I believe in the Cargill division with 7 games played, 24 points. It's the Trash Pandas. So Roses haven't played anything. Is this their first? No. Yeah, no. Is this Rose's first couple matches of the season? It's looking like. So kind of trying to set the tone for the beginning here, I guess, for the Roses. And then Rock and Rollers have played 2 games already. And they're sitting at about 15 points for them.
Definitely still very
Rangers
early
having
in
a
the
solid
season.
season last
Lots
year.
of time for a lot of points to come about.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and a great shot by Brandon Tibbs there. And Parker with the matching strike. And a little bit of a celly there.
Roster changes this year.
Ooh, little skinny touch there for Michaela. And arguably one of the hardest things to do in the game. 15 on a head pin for Katie.
Yeah. She's on the middle, though.
She is.
And they do have 2 people on the bench for Rock and Roll.
They do, yeah. A lot of monkey see, monkey do thus far. Both Mitchell and Rich with strikes, and now head pins in the second.
I wonder how often they watch, if they're watching each other.
I feel like it would kind of be a necessity, right? Know what you need, know what's going on, know when you can play.
Yeah, I know for us Trash Pandas, we don't typically watch, like towards the end. A lot of us will, just to see for points wise, kind of where we're at, but kind of leave that up to like the coach or the manager or whatever to make those calls and kind of like not let us watch the scores. So
Fair
much.
enough.
Yeah.
Well, Mitchell took his copying to a whole new level. Took out the same left deuce on the second ball and took out the right 5. Most of these matches here neck and neck.
Yeah, nothing too exciting quite yet.
Now, do you typically see in the first game of the day, is it a moment where the teams need a chance to find their rhythm, or is it usually first game excitement, getting things all fired up?
I think, yeah, everybody has to find their rhythm, especially with the first match and like with everybody waiting around when we get back onto the streams and all those things. I think it's about finding the rhythm. After that, after that fifth end break, it's kind of about get the gears together and start rolling.
True enough. I definitely think that more often than not, I see it takes a little bit of time to kind of fall in the rhythm. A few teams here and there with frequent fire starts, but often it takes a little bit of time just to find that momentum.
Yeah, and I think that's with kind of like all like bowling events too, right? Everybody has to like find their rhythm in that first game, and once they like get a feel for the lanes or pinfall and things like that, then it's a little bit easier.
First game jitters all out.
Yeah, exactly. So a few marks in the second frame for Rock and Rollers and a few for Roses.
Yeah, pretty close. I mean, same amount of marks, same amount of unsparables. Very even match thus far.
And we have they're counting in the marks, right? Looks like.
I believe so, yes. It might just be me, but it looks like the Rock and Rollers score camera is a little bit behind. I was a bit confused as to why Katie was up bowling for Brandon.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh. We just need a little bit of the side of the middle here from a couple of people. All right, so we got Mitchell here. Spare, hopefully. There we go. Kind of keeps that match just edged out of Rich there, and Christine with the strike, which is really nice. Again, just another couple marks for the Roses in third. And we got a few marks going for the Rollers here. See if they can gain some momentum from that.
Still extremely tight match, 296 to 286.
Yeah. I mean, looks like the Roses are kind of playing off each other all in the middle there.
The technical difficulties continue. I got booted, so I am back now. Didn't want everyone to feel left out.
That's okay.
Well, I missed a pretty solid frame from the Rock and Rollers there.
Yeah, they had a good frame. Hoping they can build some momentum from that, probably.
I feel like that's definitely something I've seen over the past seasons of the Rock and Rollers is when they get going, it is like unstoppable at times. They throw a ton of strikes all at once.
Yeah, which is nice. They probably feed off of each other quite well then.
Most of the bowlers in the province are all located very closely to each other. I mean, we have 4 zones just in the St. John's area alone. So a lot of these players, even if they compete against each other, they see each other all the time. They're competing with each other and against each other. So it really gives them a chance to develop a solid rapport.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice double there from Michaela. I think that's something super important as well. I mean, nobody can be perfect. So when she started off with a bit of a rough frame there, it's really easy to kind of spiral and think about all of the things that went wrong. But sometimes
Yeah.
you just need to take a moment and reset and get back into a good routine. And it seems that she's bounced back quite strong from that rough first frame.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially with like now that Parker had those 2 headpins at the top, there's that added sense of, okay, well, this is for myself, got to get back right on it. And then it's also, supporting the team as well.
Yeah, definitely need to step up just to pick that up. And a nice little run thus far from the Roses. I can't tell if Derek thought he had that or thought it was a head pin, but either or.
Maybe thankful. We all have those moments for sure.
Yes, for sure. Those thank everything.
Yeah.
For allowing the bowling gods to be with me. A nice frame from the Roses there, kind of answering the Rock and Rollers' third frame.
Yeah. I think it looks very back and forth at the moment.
Not overly surprised with these 2 teams.
No, they're strong teams, that's for sure. Strong bowlers.
And a nice couple of strikes from the bottom 2 players of the Rock and Rollers. Brandon Smith, or Smitty as we affectionately refer to him. Nice little turkey thus far. The first one of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And a nice little bounce back there from Parker.
We're really all that affected by the commercial break.
Okay, we're back. That's better.
We're making it through, guys. We're making it through.
Yeah, we're pushing. It's a glorious Sunday.
For this.
All right.
Our second turkey of the match so far. Ooh, and Katie just sneaks by that chop off there.
We haven't had any pulls yet, hey?
Not yet.
I'm just looking because we've had, a couple punches up at the top for the rollers, and, Katie is on the middle per se, but do we, is that a manager's decision? If she's on the middle, can we get maybe somebody who might just have that middle hit, but take them all? She's there, but I mean, now her match might be pulling away a little bit, right?
For sure. I know we had to kind of cut our interviews a little bit short. I believe Shane said that Courtney Lucas is on the bench. I know she's been unavailable recently just because she's in med school right now. But since she's the only other woman on the team, she would definitely have to go in for Katie.
Right.
So I'm not sure if she's there or not. I think she is. But if she is, there definitely might have to be a bit of consideration. Is this a time that we make the switch since Katie is having a little bit of trouble finding anything to build off of?
I think Rose is still out. Yeah, Derek's still up. Okay.
All right. Rock and rollers.
568 for the Rock and Rollers going into the break.
It's a close one.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And it looks like Courtney will be going in for Katie.
I guess that answers all of our concerns.
all
All right. Well, we'll see what she can do after the break.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
Financial freedom begins with financial literacy.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm thrilled to be a sponsor. My journey began as a teacher because of my deep passion for education. I brought that same passion into the financial world to help families achieve financial freedom. Financial freedom isn't just about having more, it's about knowing more. That's why I'm here to help you make smart decisions with insurance, investing, and lending, all in one place. I'm Dave, and together we'll help you achieve financial freedom.
Okay, I think we're back.
I believe we're all back.
Welcome back, everybody.
I think there is some
Hey, at least
changes.
something went right this stream.
Things are turning around.
Yeah.
And sorry, Larissa, you were just about to say something.
Yeah, I think we're seeing that there's going to be some changes coming into frame 6 here from both teams. So I think the Rock and Rollers have subbed in Courtney for Katie.
And then we have Daryl going in for Rich this frame.
I feel like both of those pulls are pretty smart. I know Rich has been having a little bit of difficulty finding the side of the head pin, and Katie definitely finding the head pin, but having a little bit of trouble converting. So good moves there, I believe, from both of those team managers.
We're still pretty close in the totals runs there. Got 581 is what I'm saying, and 558.
Yeah, definitely very close, especially with Mark's counting. And off the bench, Courtney Lucas with a strike.
It's always nice to see, you know, when you have your bench player coming off and they can throw that strike right away. That kind of, you know, gives you that little bit of energy if the team's in a lull and you can
For
feed off.
sure. Both for the team and for the individual. I know it
Yeah.
can be kind of stressful coming in off the bench, being like, I have to pick up the slack here. I haven't thrown in a little bit, and I need to get a bit of juice going for the team. So definitely nice to come in and start off with a strike.
And unfortunately, Daryl comes off the bench with the head pin.
Commentator's curse.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. We're just going to glance over that one.
Yeah. Apologies, Daryl.
And a better ball on the third one there for him.
Let's
Now,
see.
he's still not out of that match. Obviously, you'd like to come in and start with
No.
a strike, but I mean, he's only, 19 pins back, which is
Yeah.
really nothing in this game.
No. Christine.
Oh, and a no doubter from
Yeah.
Christine.
Like she absolutely knew she had that one.
She was already off the lane before the ball hit the pins.
Those are just those feel good shots, right? You know, you throw it so well and it's just going to take them all.
As a competitor, I think that might be one of the best feelings in the game when you let go of the ball and you just know that there's no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. And she keeps that match close with that strike as well.
Yeah, it definitely keeps her in it for sure.
Oh. Both of them with head pins on the bottom there.
I'm sure Derek's not too upset about it because it keeps him within striking distance, literally and figuratively,
Yeah.
from that bottom line there. Well, these two teams are definitely showing middle hit percentage are pretty high. I feel like we've maybe seen 5 from everybody in these front 6 frames.
Oh, that was a good shot from Parker there.
Yeah, he has so much rotation on the ball that when they hit the side of the pins, they're gone.
Hey, Michaela with a 5 star. She's pretty up on her match though there. So, you know, just trying to keep, you know, points for the bottom for the team here.
Yeah, she's definitely up. Obviously, the Rock and Rollers are hoping that since Courtney has come in, that she can bring that match back. But definitely a little work for Courtney to do to get close. Especially since Michaela just got that spare there in 7.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's a strike for Daryl now.
Way better than the last one.
Yeah. Oh, and Courtney with a head pin, unfortunately. Seriously though, the stats for middle hits today.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, that ball looked like it was on the side of the 3-pin, but she
Yeah.
only picks the 3.
Oh, Christine with her right corner there.
I feel like counts are something that are often overlooked.
Yes.
I know you have a head pin on a strike and it's frustrating because you're like, great, this is a head pin and I'm on a strike. I could have built something together, but it's so important to get those counts because, I mean, just that example right there, that's 4 extra points that she's lost
Oh,
just from missing that extra 2-pin.
yeah.
And for a game that has such a vast array of scores, it is mind-boggling how often it comes down to the last ball or a matter of pins.
Yes, and like happens so often where it's even the last players, right? You're like, oh, there's 2 points here between us, and yeah, it's crazy.
It's mind-boggling, to be honest.
Oh,
Oh, Derek looked like he was no doubt on that one, and it blew through that corner pin. That was something.
well, that was a good shot from Brandon there, and a good frame from the Roses. They got their marks going into 8th, and hopefully they can build on that.
Yeah, and definitely something that I see frequently when someone gets, roasted on what they thought was a strike and that corner pin is standing. It's really easy to let those emotions get the better of you and just, throw away the spare. I know nobody's actively trying to throw away the spare, but,
Yeah.
attention might not be quite there. Focus might not be there because, we're so wrapped up in, oh my goodness, I should have had that strike. But Derek was able to stay calm, stay collected, and even though he got roasted on that one, he still managed to cover the spare.
And you see that so often with the youth bowlers, especially with me. Like I do coaching on Saturdays, and we try and tell them, make sure your spare ball is the same as your strike ball. You got to have the same amount of focus, right?
Oh,
So,
for sure.
and you see that a lot with us, like older bowlers now. Like we have that extra focus, and we know how important they are. And Derek definitely is a seasoned vet in that regard, and being able to make those shots when they count.
Speaking of making shots count, Courtney with an absolute bomb there. She was starting to run it out. Already knew that it was gone. Let's see if Michaela can match.
Side, she does.
Oh, an absolute bomb too.
A little on the side there for Mitchell. Both teams still have pulls, I believe, if they wanted. Matches are still pretty tight, though. That's where I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'd say all of the matches are still close. And if
8th,
not close, very, very capable of getting right back in them.
Daryl with an unfortunate aces.
Yeah, a lot of letters for him since he's come in the 6th.
Oh, great.
Ooh, and a crunchy one from Shane. I'm not sure why I sound surprised. He knows that he just got away with that one too. You can see the little giggle on his face, but we've always said that he beats the pins down, and when he hits the side, they just run away.
Oh,
Oh, and
great.
a great shot. Ooh, a very uncharacteristic 5 whiff from Brandon.
Which keeps that match just that much closer again. See what Derek does here.
Yeah, especially with that count on the strike. Again, like we're saying, the counts on those strikes really, really important.
Yes. There we go.
And he capitalizes and right back in it.
So we got the totals for Rock and Rollers is it 879 to a 923.
Yeah, 879. equal marks. This is a lot of things happening in these last 2 frames to come.
Ooh, oh,
Ooh. I thought maybe it was going. A good count nonetheless.
good count from, yeah. Then Parker with the head pin. So that's, that brings that match close again. So we got, if he spares it up here.
Yeah, definitely going to be focused extra hard on this spare.
And he gets it.
Ooh.
Just. It almost
Yeah, it
looked
was like
just.
that looked like the wind that we've been having recently knocked that one over.
So yeah, we're sitting 208 with the 190 for sure on the other side there. And good
Oh,
job,
and another great
Courtney.
strike from Courtney
Double.
for sure.
That'll be really important coming home.
To either try and get back in this match or at very minimum throw some points on the bottom.
Absolutely. Yeah, that bottom score is so close. Oh, Michaela. Just a little skin.
Wiggly one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's going to be coming down to the wire, it looks like.
Ooh, great shot there from Mitchell.
Oh, and before the ball left Michaela's hand, it looked like she knew that corner pin was no dice.
Ooh. Great shot from Shane there. Roller's really honing it in for this frame 9 here.
Yeah, a lot of really close matches. I think the only one that I would say is for certain over is that second line there. Courtney can finish and max out. I would say she has 109, so she can max out with another 135, which will get her to 244. And since Michaela already has 239, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that she's going to be able to get 5 in the 10th.
We got a double pull here in the 3rd spot for the Roses. So Cello is in for Daryl, who was in for Rich. Maybe Cello's changing it up, and instead of going for middle hit, we'll go for middle or spare 5. Okay, 15. We good. Keep it for the bottom. There we go.
Yeah, and Christine and Derek are going to be, every time you get up, I'm sure you're looking for the best result possible, but they're definitely going to be looking to put something up here against the Rock and Rollers' solid 9th frame.
Yeah, especially to keep within those, 30, 50 pins for team total there. Oh. A little skinny. See if she can capitalize with a spare here. And she does. Awesome.
I love watching her throw, especially when she knows that it's there.
Yeah.
I feel like she might be one of the most confident bowlers I've seen. She lets go of the ball and she knows without a doubt that corner pin is gone.
Yeah. All right, and Derek looking for a strike here to keep in his match and help the team out. Because then that puts them 2 points ahead, really.
And going to be necessary with all of the marks and strikes coming up with the Rock and Rollers. Ooh.
Oh no.
Not probably what they wanted in this moment.
But you know what? We were talking about making it on that strike there. You want that extra 5, so
That count is big.
that's huge.
All right, coming down to the wire.
All right, we got a 208 right now for Parker and a 190 sitting there at the moment with
A strike from Brandon here puts him 3 pins behind Parker. So the match is still in Parker's hands, but going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Does he get it? Oh.
Oh, the drama of waiting for him to move.
Move out of the camera, please.
So Brandon can max at 233 here. Definitely needs this spare.
Gets the spare and Parker. Oh.
Oh.
This is so interesting.
Again, this is where those
interesting.
counts. Yeah, this is where those counts are going to be really big because Parker is currently sitting at 228, which means that 5 will get him to 233, which could be a tie.
And
A
wow.
tie.
Tie. That's tie.
All right, so half a point each to start. With totals being 6 apart right now.
Yeah, very, very close. The Rock and Rollers with that slight advantage because
Yeah.
they have a number of marks, but close all the same. Huge shot from Courtney there. Definitely helping add to that bottom line for the Rock and Rollers.
Oh, an unfortunate head pin.
That first strike definitely was huge though for counts. Added a ton to that bottom line. I mean, she probably would have liked to hit something there, but you know, coming in 75 in the 5th frame to finish with 209, that's a pretty solid showing for the back half. But that does mean that Michaela gets that point, which we were fairly certain of going into the 10th frame.
All right, now we got it's 1091 to 1125. See if Charlo can do something here.
So Marcello can max out this third line at 175, which means that Mitchell already gets this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, both of them are looking for as many points as possible since that total is still quite close.
Mitchell
gets a big spare for Mitchell. The Roses definitely are going to have a little bit of work to do if they want to get that team total back now.
Yeah, especially with their 9, they had just Christine with the mark going into the 10, and Roller set themselves up real nice for the last frame here with all 5 marks.
If my math serves me, the Roses have a max of, well, it has decreased a fair bit since I was just about to talk, so I'm just not going to say anything anymore. Unfortunately, I would say that all but seals the deal for the Roses.
Yeah. And Shane can finish out with a real good game here.
And Derek's definitely going to be looking to put up as many points as possible right here to try and get that match from Brandon on the bottom line. That's one.
I thought that corner was going to stand again.
It looked like it. Because I know it's not played out yet, but as it sits, it's 6.5, 5.5.
Now I'm questioning everything. Rock and Rollers, if Brandon is able to take this, will have 6.5. So Derek is looking to take that extra point away from him. There we go. I thought I was going to have a moment there.
All right. So Derek, definitely putting pressure on him there.
Yeah, for sure.
Brandon answers for sure.
Yeah, one of the most interesting things about Brandon Smith is, the guy just doesn't get phased. He goes up there and throws the ball, no matter if it's for a Tuesday night league or for a national gold medal, the ball is exactly the same.
And you know what?
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. That's a 6.5 for the Rock and Rollers to 1.5 for the Roses. What a match.
That was really good. Had to watch the entire game.
And we've basically caught up on time. Look at that.
We're like ahead of time now.
Thanks, Rock and Rollers, for being so quick.
Right? Everybody was.
All right, so we'll bring in the team managers to have a little chat. I know the time is of the essence.
Hello.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
That seemed like a hi with some meaning behind it.
I wasn't sure if I couldn't see if my camera was going. Good game, Shane Chafe.
Thanks. Every now and then.
Yeah, amongst all that kerfuffle, it was kind of lost. You threw a big game, Shane. 371.
Huge.
Yeah, I got lucky with a couple like really terrible balls I got away with, and then
I'd say.
Oh, we noticed.
And then a couple of good ones after, but I had 3 terrible in a row. So you got to take those.
You got to take those.
Especially with the match being so close between you guys, especially like the team total, right?
Yeah, for the rest of the match, what are your thoughts, Shane?
I thought that we struggled in the middle of the game. Like I felt like we could have maybe took a lead there in 4, 5, 6. Both teams were kind of struggling, and then we never really took advantage. But obviously we had a big 8, 9, 10 to kind of bring it back. And the ninth frame I think was the difference. Toppler I think had a couple of punches and 4 opens, and we marked out. So it's a big swing. It's a good win for us. Take 6.5.
And a great start to your day for sure. Stacey, I know you've got some things to be at, so we'll keep this brief. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, just too many plows this morning, right? Like it didn't matter, like Rich starts out 3 plows in 5 frames. Daryl goes in, plows, gets aces. Like, if you can win with one, you hope to win with the other. Then you hope to put cello in. And I told Shane he wasn't playing, so I laughed a little hard there. But what can you do, right? When you're plowing. That's how it is. And really, I mean, there's a few different streaks going on the other side, and we always have a good match with the Rock and Rollers, so it's going to be it'll be fun, and so not the start to the season that we wanted, but we'll get it back. They're good
for sure. We were even commenting on your middle hit percentage, so I mean it's all right there. It's a matter of centimeters or inches. So
they'll figure it out. I'll make them do a lot of warm up now. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys have 2 hours now.
Just 2 hours.
The Rock and Rollers, though, are back on business in just a couple of minutes. So, Thank you guys for a great first match of the day.
Thanks, girls. Thanks, Shane.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
We'll see you all shortly.
See ya.
All right, we're going to do a quick commercial break and then head into the next match, I believe.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
Financial freedom begins with financial literacy.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm thrilled to be a sponsor. My journey began as a teacher because of my deep passion for education. I brought that same passion into the financial world to help families achieve financial freedom. Financial freedom isn't just about having more, it's about knowing more. That's why I'm here to help you make smart decisions with insurance, investing, and lending, all in one place. I'm Dave, and together we'll help you achieve financial freedom.
On name cards.
Yeah.
All right. I believe
Hello,
I remember how to
everybody.
do all of this again.
Hey, guys.
So we have,
Morning.
I believe it's the Rock and Rollers and the Caribou Thunder for our next match. We've got Shane and Kevin and Tyler here. I believe Rock and
everybody.
Rollers is the away team. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good. Definitely. Thanks for the group of guys to for what happened for our team for Brent Morrison. It was a bit of a loss for our team and for our bowling of our house. So that was my father-in-law. That was my wife's dad, and for replacing his spot is Dustin Morrison, which is his dad is Brent.
Yeah, we just want to thank the other teams too for rescheduling and being so good, and the whole league for their support and everything. Okay, no worries.
All of our
Absolutely.
thoughts with you guys.
We're a great community, and we're one of difficult times, right? This was one of
But we're all ready to go now.
All right. All
Ready to
right.
fire.
Yeah.
So I believe Rock and Rollers will start with their roster.
Yeah, we'll go with what we just finished that game with. So we'll go with Brandon Tibbs, Courtney Lucas, Mitchell Williams, myself, and then Smitty. And we'll have Brad and Katie Wells on the bench.
All right. And Caribou Thunder, your roster.
You can name it off.
We're going with Dustin first, and then we have
Caleb
and Charlene and Tyler and myself, and we have Sylvia and Daryl on the bench today.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
I don't believe I'm missing anything.
I think that's
We
all.
ready to go?
I think that's it. We're ready to
All
go.
right.
See a good match.
Okay, good luck.
Good
Good luck, guys.
Good luck, Shane.
Best of luck
See
to
you
you
guys.
all.
All right. Good luck, guys. All right.
Match 2 of the day.
Oh, match.
Good luck, everybody. Remember, focus on yourself. There's no rush.
Oh. Remember, hit the button.
No, I'm not sure if we can see the Caribou Thunder's camera here. Like their lane camera. I'm not seeing pins. Unless you are.
No, I see it.
Oh, okay.
I believe so, at least.
Unless I just saw somebody else throw a strike, but it looks like Dustin started off with a strike.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah. Oh, okay. I believe we're back on schedule.
We are, yeah. We were actually a tiny bit ahead of schedule.
I think
Oh,
we're
sweet.
really
Perfect.
stream too. So
I feel like I'm forgetting something. Roster readouts. That's right.
Ah, there we go.
Yes. Okay, roster readouts. Rock and Rollers. Who would like to read out the
I
roster
could
here?
take care of that one. We've got Shane Chafe, Brandon Tibbs, Brad Glynn, Brandon Smith, Mitchell Williams, Courtney Lucas, and Katie Wells bowling out of Plaza Bowl.
All right, and then Caribou Thunder.
awesome. We got Caribou Thunder here. We got Tyler McLean, Kevin McAlpine, Charlene Weege, Caleb Sabuliak. I'm gonna butcher that one.
Nailed
Dustin
it.
Yeah, right. Confidence. Dustin Morrison, Sylvia Bush, Daryl Hansen, and Madison Richter from Caribou Bowl.
Perfect.
And this is a great example of how cool this league is. I mean, this is coast to coast right here. And how often are these teams going to be able to play against each other when they are literally thousands of miles apart?
Exactly.
Yeah, but especially in the northern interior of BC, it's quite hard to get out there.
Yeah.
And the furthest east of Newfoundland. Beautiful thing this league is.
Oh, definitely. Kind of just
And it
goes to
looks.
show the
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
impressiveness of the bowling community. All good. Goes to show the impressiveness of the 5-pin bowling community. Yeah, we're not as big as 10-pin, but we still have some amazing things that we're capable of doing.
Absolutely. And it looks like the Rock and Rollers are starting the way they finished with a bit of fire. Great start thus far. And I feel like as we were speaking the last game, sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to get that momentum going. And I'm
Absolutely.
sure the Thunder are looking to find that sooner rather than later, particularly because the Rock and Rollers have had a chance to get all that going. Tyler wastes no time throwing a strike up in the first frame.
I really enjoyed the Thunder shirts. I like how bright they are.
Yeah, a lot of cool shirts again in the league. Make sure you go and buy all of your favorite merch for your favorite teams. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, we have the merch store.
Oh, right.
I remember now.
We'll have to plug that.
IPL merch. I believe the link to it is on the 5-pin Universe website, if I remember correctly.
And if you don't already follow all of your favorite teams, I believe most, if not all, have their own pages where they link all of their merch as well, and you can follow along with all of their progress throughout the season.
Yeah.
I
And a
gotta say, the
decent
hats are
start from
really good
both
quality.
teams. Oh my gosh, the hats are great.
Yeah.
I've been trying to collect all the teams so far. I've only got the Snowmen and the Northern Knockouts.
There's still time. Merch store.
Yeah.
You know where to go.
All right, and up top there for Rock and Rollers, we got a nice double going.
Rock and Rollers have honestly been probably one of the most solid teams throughout the entire 5-pin league. Yeah, they haven't made it to the big finals and all, but they've been. I think they were top of their division last year, or did they get taken out by?
No, I believe they were the top of the division. I know they were in the playoffs. They've been in the playoffs every year since the league began.
Mhm.
Definitely a very strong team and have always put together some great performances. But yeah, just missing that last little push, but they are in a new league this year,
Mhm.
right? They've switched divisions, so interesting to see how that plays out for them for the rest of the season.
Oh, and Caleb got a 12 there on that side.
12 counts are always fun.
Yeah, you don't often see them.
And yet, for some reason, that 12 spare, I mean, many people will probably argue with me. Man, that's a hard spare.
Oh, absolutely.
No, it is. It is. It's so easy to pluck a 3-pin on your first ball.
Or when you're going for a chop
Yep.
cherry.
Yeah.
T-shirts also available, 5-pin universe. But when it's the only one standing, my goodness, that thing is small and far away.
I always forget. I bowled at Dell for so long that 12 counts just seems so normal to me. It's not normal. It's not a normal thing to
It's
happen.
not very normal, no.
We have the same thing here in Medicine Hat. 12s were pretty common.
Rest in peace, Dell Lanes, by the way.
I know, so sad.
Good old 2-hour trek to Bowl League now. Gotta love it.
Oh, wow.
My goodness. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of centers in the vicinity.
No. I mean, technically Scottsdale is a lot closer, but I don't like to bowl there. I have too much anxiety. I'll butcher the lane guards.
Oh. Yeah.
For anyone who's not familiar, we're talking about the lower mainland of BC and the bowling alleys around there.
Yeah, yeah. We really don't have a whole lot left. It's like Scottsdale, Alder, Galaxy, Grandview.
Rest in peace to Willowbrook Lanes.
Rest in peace, Willowbrook, Old Orchard,
Clover.
Dell, Clover.
So
Oh,
very
wow.
sad.
I feel like there's a couple more. I think Commodore's still open, actually.
So basically what we're saying is go out and support your local bowling alleys. We don't want to
Yes,
see any more of
please.
them close.
Please.
Go down and watch your favorite 5-pin league teams compete.
Trust me, 2-hour bus rides to league are not enjoyable.
Yeah, no
If you
kidding.
don't want that to happen to you, go support your bowling alleys.
All right, bit of a
Fortunately, we have all the players here on this
Yeah.
match supporting their local associations. And doing a pretty darn good job of showing it off, too. Another great frame from the Rock and Rollers and 3 marks there for the Thunder.
First frame jitters. That's all it is.
Exactly. It takes a second to warm up.
Exactly. Yeah. The Thunder are just starting off for the day, so find that groove, and I'm sure we'll see them get going here.
Obviously, still very early in the match, but very close still in terms of the score. Currently 198 for the Rock and Rollers to 176 for the Thunder. The Rock and Rollers just with that 1 extra mark counting in the second frame. Well, I guess technically 2 with the double. And it looks like someone is warming up their Plaza Bowl. And if the look of the ball is anything as an indication, it looks like it might be Brad Glynn warming up.
Okay. That was
I
a
only
good.
got a really quick look, but I'm very fortunate that I've seen a lot of these players bowl over the 10 years now that I've lived in Newfoundland. Ooh. Courtney's definitely still having some trouble finding the side of the head pin. She was able to get a little bit running together in the last match.
She had some momentum towards the last match there, so it's definitely there for her, and she knows where to put it. So.
A matter of centimeters and inches.
And a good cleanup.
Ooh. She's
Really-
laughing too. She's like, my goodness, I didn't think I had that 5.
There appears to be something in front of the score screen.
Oh, a towel.
Yeah, not sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just those habits, right? That you're like, oh, I'm just gonna put this here. Oh, wait, I can't do that now.
Plaza has
I
also
can't say
just
anything. I do
recently
the same
put
thing.
in a new scoring system. I believe it's now been like I want to say 6 or 8 months.
Wow.
But I know it takes it's still been taking a little bit of getting used to. The monitors there down in the pit are kind of at an odd space. They sit really high and are really nice towel holders. So definitely a little bit of habits there.
Yeah, I can't say much. I know I do the exact same thing.
And as you
I
can,
also know for a fact I would accidentally bowl before the commercial break ends.
yeah, I don't think we've had anybody that I know of do that yet.
I think we had like a close call here or there. I feel like I remember seeing a couple.
Oh, and a great cleanup from Charlene. That actually looks like one of the best balls she's thrown thus far. Really solid follow through.
Looks like she could have maybe even spared a split with that one. Didn't see if the pin fully carried.
Yeah.
And Brandon's just staring it up over here, trying to find the middle again on the first ball, probably.
Big
Tyler.
strike from Tyler. Yeah, uncharacteristic for Brandon to miss at all, really, but for 3 frames in a row is definitely not typical from him. So he'll definitely be looking to find that middle again and get on that strike train. Strike train. Why did I just say that?
Oh, a great shot from Kevin there.
Speaking of the strike train, there we go, Kevin.
He's hopping aboard Tyler's strike train.
Yeah, we're just going to steer into the skid and pretend that this was all designed.
All right.
I think another beautiful thing about the Pro League is you actually get to see bowlers that aren't able, for whatever reason, to make it out to tour events, whether it be Club Tour or WCBT.
Yeah, for sure.
They actually get a chance to get highlighted, and there's quite a lot of good talent just kind of hidden around.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a way to get exposure because it's something that both in terms of, getting highlighted, but in experience as well. So much of the experience and the reason that we're seeing such influx of quality bowlers in recent years, I think is largely due to events like the WCBT or Club Tour. Or I know I can even speak personally from the Newfoundland Bowling Tour since its inception, I believe 7 years ago now. We've seen so many more bowlers get back into the game. The quality of bowling has improved because it's an extra level of competition. So when it's not as easily accessible as, places in, northern BC or in a lot of smaller towns that make travel difficult, this is a way to get exposure and experience.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And, especially with like all the other tournaments that are coming up, like bringing out the Diamond Ladies too was really important for like the ladies to start competing again. And
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of tournaments that have even just popped up in the last few years to get more people involved. And
Shout out to all of the people working behind the scenes to make that possible.
Well, also too, it's like they're higher frequency too, because you go look at Masters, you have what it was it 4 or 5 qualifying tournaments leading up to it, and then the big tournament, and then Open is technically 2 tournaments. You have Open trials and then provincials leading up to nationals, but that's only once a year, so it's not a 5 times throughout the year thing, or 3 times I think for Club Tour. I think they have 3, or are they up to 4
Three,
tournaments now?
4 tournaments, I believe, actually. 4?
So it's
Oh, no, I'm going to
Hopedale,
be questioning
Nebs,
myself. Yeah.
Hopedale, Nebs. There's another one I can't remember. I feel like I'm forgetting one still. Huh.
Check out Club Tour, everybody.
yeah, let know.
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not sure if it's too far, so I'm not gonna make it.
All right, so the Rock and Rollers are definitely rocking and rolling thus far. A couple of 4-baggers up there, and a little bit of a break now. Looks like we have a couple of issues there for the Thunder. I'm not sure if it was that they needed to take out a pin or correct a score. I guess we're gonna find out pretty shortly.
It looks like he's just going for the corner here, maybe? Or nope.
Oh,
Nope.
I would assume that it counted 8 when the
Yeah.
8 wasn't the case. So I guess we will also find out pretty quickly.
I think the Rock and Rollers are keeping us on schedule with all their strikes at the moment.
Yeah, Shane
Now I
wasn't
feel
lying.
like
They are our best teams.
this could be one of 2 different scenarios. Is this little break here is either going to, drive home the fact that the Rock and Rollers are off to a great start, or it could potentially be a little bit of a momentum killer. Um, what's it been like in your guys' experience when you've run into things like this?
I think, it's definitely a momentum builder, especially, I mean, the break is kind of tough though, right? So yeah, it definitely can go either way. And both like the Rock and Rollers are coming off of a good game previously, so they might be coming down from that high as well, like trying to carry over that momentum. But then, how long can we carry that momentum for, too? Right, is the question. And then we have the Thunder coming over on the other side that are trying to build up their momentum, and their last 2 players are holding it in for everybody, and they've got a few marks now, so. I think
Yeah, and
that's
it looks like they didn't that little break with Caleb's correction didn't seem to affect them either. Couple strikes on the board. Kevin hoping to finish out this line here.
Honestly, seems to have benefited them more than anything.
For
Gave them
sure.
a chance to
yeah,
catch their breath or something.
yeah. Give them a little breather. That they haven't had
Oh, and
a ton of
coming
marks
curse.
each frame, but I think that breather maybe helped them out.
Especially when you see that team, your opposing team putting up big runs, big scores, big marks. That could
Absolutely.
be easy to kind of get lost or overcome. Also, where this is kind of a bit of an interesting dynamic in the league. Oftentimes in these tournaments, you have a team throwing strikes right in your face, whereas here you kind of have the option whether or not to pay attention to that or not.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, like, there's no audio. You don't hear everybody cheering. That's also something too, right? When you're standing beside that other team and they're that little bit louder, and you're like, okay, yeah, they've got a lot going on there at the moment. But it's also something that you don't get here, right? That background noise per se.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we head into the last frame before the break. Obviously, these teams are going to be looking to put up a solid frame before they head to their little commercial break.
Ooh, oh, and he gets it.
Ooh, good push.
He prayed for that one. And good cover there, coming back.
I definitely don't envy the mandatory breaks in terms of waiting for the other team to finish their frame or the commercial break. I don't envy it one bit. I know personally I hate taking breaks while I'm bowling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could definitely be. It's almost a skill to be able to deal with the break.
It really is,
Right.
honestly. I don't know how Adam Weber does it. I was struggling not this year, last year in Calgary because we somehow had like the fastest pair between our set. So we were finishing, I think it was like half hour before everyone else in some cases.
Yeah, that's a bit of a break for sure.
Yeah. Didn't help that Paradise started getting very, well, temperature of a paradise.
All right. Well, matches going into the fifth end break are pretty. So we got 155 at the top to the 93, and he's got a double up top there for Dustin. And Caleb's at 88, and Courtney at 56 with a strike there. So that match is pretty close still. In that middle, that third one there with Mitchell and Charlene. We'll see what Charlene does here to kind of hold on to hers.
Yeah, that fifth frame for Mitchell puts an end to the two streaks of strikes.
Mm-hmm.
The last time that a Newfoundland team was on the 5-pin league, we actually had a Newfoundland bowler throw the 5-pin league's first perfect game. Shout out Andrew Dunn.
I think I saw Charlene back off. Yeah, looks like they're making a sub.
So it looks like Sylvia's going in.
Yeah, Sylvia in for Charlene.
Also, I have just been informed that I can't believe that I'm such an idiot for forgetting. Timmins is another stop on the club tour circuit.
That's what it is.
It's just going to have a moment for our little brain fart there.
Rollers just seem to be plugging along here. They start out, but they're not doing bad, but they're not as dominant as they were last game.
Definitely seems like Rock and Rollers are trying to run away with that middle set there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's definitely a commanding lead there.
Granted, there's very few things you can't fix with a 7-bagger.
True. 8-baggers are in fact greater than spares.
See what Tyler can do here. Maybe put up another mark for the team. Hold them in for totals for sure too. That was a great shot.
Bomb. And he's off to a great start thus far, and also has quite a command on that fourth line there. Shane just coming off a big 370 last game. A little bit of a slower start for him this one.
Oh.
Little kickback. Unfortunately, it didn't kick quite enough.
No power trap on there.
I can't remember which house it was, but I definitely got saved many a times by head pins turning into chops. I want to say it was St. James of all lanes too, actually, now that I think about it.
Nothing crazy, yeah.
A silly game this is. It's a silly game.
All right.
And that does it for the first half.
Yep, we will hop into our commercial break right now.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
Financial freedom begins with financial literacy.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm thrilled to be a sponsor. My journey began as a teacher because of my deep passion for education. I brought that same passion into the financial world to help families achieve financial freedom. Financial freedom isn't just about having more, it's about knowing more. That's why I'm here to help you make smart decisions with insurance, investing, and lending, all in one place. I'm Dave, and together we'll help you achieve financial freedom.
All right,
And
we're back.
welcome back.
Gotta say, love the new ad break.
Yeah, changes it up.
The Norse landscaping did scare the ever loving hell out of me the first time though.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what this back half holds. Match between the Rock and Rollers and the Caribou Thunder here. Rock and Rollers are ahead 614 to 508, but there's lots of time still, especially when that happens.
Yeah, headpins don't help much.
No, they're not great.
Yeah, like we were saying for the fifth break, like, is it going to be a momentum switch for these guys?
And it very well could be. I guess we're going to find out.
I mean, Dustin coming in with the turkey there.
Yeah, the break didn't matter for him. He would strike there, both to get him close in his match and for that bottom line to bring the Thunder back in striking distance with the Rock and Rollers.
It's definitely one of the things about this being a five person team rather than a 3-person team. You can't just win your match point and hope your anchor makes up the difference between the middle if they lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a team collective. Again, something that's really important because I know when we're competing, obviously we're all focused on winning every point possible, but sometimes it's hard to keep that focus when, the game is completely out to lunch or you don't have any chance of coming back. But, especially when it comes to a team event, your single point might be gone, but it's still so important to keep your head down and get as many points as you can for the bottom because, like we were saying in the last match, it comes down to single pins so often. So every point matters when it comes to that bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it looks like the Thunder have made a switch, so they've brought
Daryl in for Caleb, I believe.
Bears it up for Caleb. And that match is pretty close in that second spot there. So maybe that just change will, you know, give them some fire. And
A 2-point difference is,
yeah.
especially since they both now have spares in the 6th.
And then we have Sylvia here coming off the bench for last frame. See if she can start something up for the team here in the 3rd spot.
I am curious what your guys' strategy is for the substitutions. Do you wait for an open, like a brand new frame? Do you wait for the break after a
I
head
think it
pin,
kind
something
of
like that?
it depends on the team, it depends on the bowler, it depends on the situation. For me, it's not even so much, you know, is it whoever has the lowest score, whoever's like missing the middle the most. I think there's so many things that come into play, and depending on what the struggling bowler is doing, is it that they are punching too much and they just can't get to the side? Is it they're throwing balls everywhere? Are they close in their match? Like, it comes to, there's so many different variables, um, and it all also comes down to just the bowler themselves.
Yeah.
I know a lot of really really talented bowlers who, when they're struggling, tend to punch a lot. So if they're punching a lot, obviously that's them struggling, but it's such a minute difference in between a punch and a strike. So is there something that they can do to alter that? Is it a timing issue? Is it just they're throwing tight and tense, or, you know, a flat ball? And are those head pins going to turn into strikes really quickly? So I think there's a lot of time and thought that goes into making a poll, and why team managers are so important, because they have to kind of analyze all of those different things
Yeah,
very quickly, because the game can get away from you really fast if you don't make a decision quickly.
absolutely. And it's good, like, if you have a really good team manager or a coach by, and that you have that open communication to be like, hey, yeah, I am struggling, or no, keep me in, or like, I have that spot, it still feels great, kind of thing. Or that kind of helps the bowler too, or even whoever's coming off the bench to kind of prepare, be like, okay, like, maybe even go throw a few practice shots. If those feel great, then it's a matter of like, okay, we could switch even out the team a little bit, right?
And I
And
think a lot of it too is also important for the bowler to recognize. We all know our game better than anybody. We know when we're throwing a good ball, when we're not throwing a good ball. And it's something that I think is really important as competitors to be able to see, you know, I just can't find it, or like it's right there and I just need to change a tiny little thing. Obviously, we always want to perform at our best, but ultimately the team is far more important than the individuals. So to be able to recognize, you know, I just don't have it right now. Let's get another player in to see if we can change it out. Also really important for a good team dynamic.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, personally, I don't like to go in starting a new frame. Like, if I have those, you know, couple balls to throw before I start a fresh frame, that's always nice to have. But yeah, totally up to team manager at that point. They definitely make those decisions on when to pull, and they're keeping eyes on those scoreboards.
And I think you brought up a really
Definitely.
good point too about the communication, and in certain situations where, yeah, they're plowing a lot, but they feel like they're right there. That
Mm.
trust between your player and your coach to let them figure it out definitely can be a hard thing to do when you're just looking at three head pins in a row.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. It might just be throwing a ball at some pins, but it's also so much more than just throwing a ball at some pins.
Exactly.
Well, a great run of marks here from the Rock and Rollers. Commentator's curse. I just jinxed it. Sorry, Shane.
Sorry, Shane.
We almost went to the bar.
Oh,
Oh, and a good one there.
oh. And it's
Looked
awesome.
a little bit dicey
Yeah.
at first throw, but got the job done.
And good for Daryl though, because he's coming off the bench, right? So
Yeah, and now he's spared up a miss and thrown a strike on top of it, so has already made a huge difference in this match, particularly since Courtney in his match there threw a strike as well. So he's keeping it still very close and even ahead in the match.
Yeah, little 2-point lead, all you need.
Oh. Well, Sylvia found the middle on the first ball here. Unfortunately, it was a head pin.
Oh, the Rock and Rollers, it looks like, have a
Oh.
guest appearance
Oh.
from maybe one of the birthday parties, making
Nice.
a little run.
Random child.
Yeah, you can see some of the reflections of the glow in the dark lights in their camera there. So there's definitely some parties going on, but maybe not
I don't
ideal
miss
when they're
those.
running across their lane there.
I don't miss those lights one bit.
Plaza
Running
Bowl is an
tangles, what you got?
exceptionally large center, though. Like, I think they might be the second or third biggest in the country. They have 36 lanes.
Wow, yeah.
God, I wish.
Does Bonnie Doon have
52,
40,
I believe.
40?
52?
Oh,
I thought it was
sorry,
40.
Nebs is 52. Is what I meant
Yeah,
to say.
okay. And Bonnie Doon is, I think, 40, right?
42? 40? 40? Something like that.
Let us know in the comments if you know of anybody bigger. Sorry, let me rephrase. If you know of any center that's bigger.
That is something that I have kind of noticed between your 10-pin centers and your 5-pin centers is the difference in amount of lanes. Because we have a center out here in Richmond. It was originally Lucky 9. I think it's now called Splitsville. I think they got bought out by that franchise. But it's like 40 some odd lane house,
Wow.
primarily 10-pin, with I think 10 or 12 lanes being 5-pin. Possibly more lanes. I could be wrong. Actually, I want to say it's like 40 10-pin lanes and then 12 5-pin, something like that. But I have noticed a lot of 10-pin centers often have like 40 plus lanes, whereas it seems like the gold standard for a lot of 5-pin is that 16.
16's like that sweet number, yeah.
All right, Kevin finishes off that line with a nice little strike for a double.
Yeah.
Definitely nice when you have 3 head pins in the frame. And when you're up against the Rock and Rollers solid 7th frame with 4 strikes. Ooh,
Cool.
that was a crispy one from Brandon there.
Is this split from Dustin? Yeah, it is. That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
a game of, millimeters, centimeters, inches. He's still throwing a great shot. It was evident in the 3 strikes that he had in a row, but just that tiny little difference, and now he has a pair of opens in a row. The game giveth and the game taketh. And Courtney takes that spare.
Let's see what Daryl can do here.
Yeah, see if he can build on that lead, or at least keep in line with Courtney in that match as we're coming down to the final few frames. Looked like it was a little bit quick from Mitchell there.
Oh, great shot from Daryl on the Thunder side.
And he gets a little bit of a lead now going into the final 2 frames. A double versus Courtney's spare.
Oh,
and a much better ball from Mitchell, but a blow through. Unfortunate result for that one.
He didn't seem too happy with that.
Yeah, it was a much better ball than the first one, and definitely thought that it looked worthy of the spare. But the game taketh sometimes.
There we go. Sylvia's found the strike there.
Oh, and she knew it. She was running it out before it had even hit the pins.
It's huge for the bottom line. Absolutely huge.
Shane throwing just an absolute bomb there.
Yeah, again, likes to beat the pins down, and he's the best at it.
Wow, another great shot. So Rock and Rollers with 4 marks in the 8th here.
And a little bit of work to be done from the Thunder if they're hoping to get back in this team match. Yeah, quite a few marks from the Rock and Rollers and sitting at 975. The Thunder still have to finish out this match, but currently with 2 marks and 816. So quite a bit of work to be done in the last couple of frames. Still a lot of individual matches in play though.
Yeah,
Could be an interesting finish as we come down to the final 2 frames.
Yeah, it's looking like a pretty close match at the bottom there for sure.
Yeah, depending on what this shot looks like.
Ooh,
Looks
a
like
3.
he stepped out of a shot a little bit.
I feel like as a bowler, that's one of the shots that is the most frustrating.
Yeah. You throw it and you're like, yep, that's going nowhere near the middle.
Yeah, the count is not great. The execution's not great. So it takes a lot to be able to bounce back and focus on that spare because I know I'm speaking from personal experience. That's a very frustrating shot.
It is, absolutely.
A little
Kevin did
kickback
get
for
a
Kevin
close
though,
shot
and
there.
got a little bit of an extra count. Oh, he said safe. All
See,
right.
that's part of the reason I throw such a big hook is if it looks like it's hitting the 3 pins, sometimes it still hits the middle. You just have to pray.
Interesting.
So heading into these final 2 frames, the Rock and Rollers have quite a solid grasp on this match. They're currently 134 pins up, and they're counting a few extra marks. So yeah, a lot of work to be done from the Thunder.
Yeah, this is Thunder's first match of the day. So they do, I believe, have another one after this. Am I right?
The last match, I
Toppler.
believe.
Yes,
Last.
first Toppler. We
Yeah.
got Rock and Rollers against the Rebels and then Toppler against Caribou, yeah.
Again, something that could be a benefit. I know the Roses just lost a close one to the Rock and Rollers last match. They have a little bit of a break, and the Thunder will also have a bit of a break before they face the Roses. But that little break can be really beneficial because they can meet together as a team, kind of debrief and come into the next match fresh.
Yeah, especially with like Thunder having, those few unfortunate punches too, and like Toppler having those. Like I think that'll be a great match between Toppler and Thunder. They're both going to be gunning for some more points than they had against their previous teams, so that'll be interesting to see.
For sure. Courtney had a 3-pin in this 9th frame. Not a super great count, but she picked up all of her pins and has 179 in the 9th. And Caleb had a great count and is well in command of the match right now, particularly because he just got that spare.
Yeah, it was a great way for Daryl to come off the bench for Caleb there.
Yeah, for sure. I was just about to say the same. A really solid showing thus far, coming in the middle of the 6th frame there.
Oh, good hit for Sylvia there. She's found the middle now though, so maybe that's something she'll carry forward into their next match.
And the beauty is too, now that she's found it, is there's lots of time that they can practice. They can, maybe figure a few things out in this break that they have leading up to the next match. She's definitely thinking her lucky stars on
Yeah.
that one. Wasn't totally sure she had that.
It's a good way to set up the 9, though. 3 marks there from Thunder to carry into the 10. Oh.
Ooh. Aces from Brandon Smith on the bottom there.
That left 2-pin might have fell. It looked like it fell before the shield came down.
I guess we're going to find out because it looks like they're doing a few things.
Oh.
I wasn't totally sure. It looked like it was pretty decent aces. Ooh, gave it a chance.
Yeah, that looked pretty.
Or are they correcting it? It looks like they are correcting it.
Oh, okay. If anything, he gave it a chance to spare it.
Yeah, it was like that was a solid effort, that's for sure.
If he wasn't on a double, I would if I got the spare, I'd just leave it there. Make it look fun. Cool.
Yeah.
Make it look fun.
Nobody would know, right? They'd come back on the stream and be like, what's happening over here?
Well, in those moments, you definitely want to thank your lucky stars. It was quite a heavy hit and had a lot of possibility of just being a head pin, but instead got away with a corner pin. Great count on the double and capitalized on the spare. Definitely sets him up well going into 10. Unfortunately, Kevin had a head pin in the 9th.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely love it when I get 3 more pins on the ball that I was expecting.
Exactly.
All right, coming home into 10.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that head pin in 9 has put Kevin out of that bottom match. He could max out at 237, and where Brandon already has 241, that will go to him. A lot of other matches in play, though, so let's see how it all plays out and how the points fall.
Oh.
I believe Caribou are still in the running for 2 matches.
Yeah. That second match for sure.
And then I think the 4th as well.
Yeah. And good cleanup and good game from there on Rock and Rollers. 307.
And as Courtney comes up, she has a maximum of 224 if she strikes out. Obviously, what she's going to be hoping to do, where Caleb, geez. I looked at his name right there. What she'd be hoping to do, as Daryl is already sitting quite well.
Now 209, so.
Yeah, that miss puts her at a max 209, which I would like to assume that Daryl could hit any pin. So that match goes to the Thunder. What a way to come in for Daryl.
Absolutely. He did great. Yeah. Good spare from Daryl.
Yeah, very clean way to come in for him. Ooh.
That's a good spot.
Right? Just for fun. Let's have a 3-pin to finish. Well earned since he came in to take that point.
Absolutely. Wow.
Now the match might be out of Sylvia's grasp, but this might be a good time to see if she can stay on the side of that head pin. She seems to have found it the last couple of frames, so a good time to get some reps in, especially leading into that next game.
Yeah, it looks good.
And she's found it. Always nice to finish strong, especially when you have another match coming.
Yes, absolutely.
And a big shot from Shane gets him pretty close in the match.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tyler in that fourth line still has quite an advantage, 21 pins. But with a max 45 in the 10th frame, anything can happen.
Yeah, and you know, with Shane throwing that strike there, you know, it kind of puts a little bit of pressure just to make sure that, you know, Tyler stays within it. Oh, that was huge.
I was like, couldn't even see the pins, but
I was like,
saw the little Shane Chafe fist pump.
Yep.
So knew that it was there and really big for the match for sure. So Shane is currently sitting 247 and he has a max of 262.
He gets the strike. I do believe he forces Tyler to mark.
Oh, an absolute bomb too. So putting a bit of pressure on Tyler here for this this match. Oh wow. And just as we said,
yep.
anything can happen.
I do believe that shuts him out now.
He still has the chance to spare it, although very unlikely.
That would be a time if ever.
They do have the bouncy 12 over there.
Right?
7.
I was like, they have some bouncy pins. So, wow, a very quick swing and a great finish from Shane on the Rock and Rollers to take that point. So it looks like it's going to be 7-1 for the Rock and Rollers over the Thunder.
Good job on Shane to stop them from eking out that last point against them.
Yeah, especially when it comes down to such a competitive division like you see in the 5-pin league. Every point matters. Not just pins, but every point. So even in that first match where we saw that that half point, that could be a huge difference in standings. So you want to grab every point possible.
If I remember correctly, I believe last year we almost had a couple of ties. I want to say in the Schwartz division coming into the last week.
Right.
I think it was the Schwartz division. Might have been Cargill. I could be wrong.
But this is where it still blows my mind, like with all of the different scores, the different combinations, the different everything in this game. The fact that so many matches, so many games, so many tournaments come down to a matter of pins or like such small numbers of points. It's something that I wish we could teach a lot of our youth. Like every point matters. Every pin matters. Well, that does it for the second match. Rock and Rollers winning 7-1 over the Caribou Thunder.
And
We'll bring in the team managers and see what they have to say about this one.
We've got Shane waiting on.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well,
I don't know if we got you though.
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah.
There we go.
I can hear him at least. I can hear him. All right. So I don't know if what's going on with Tyler and Kevin.
The Thunder
So
to come on in, but I guess while we're waiting, what are your thoughts on the game, Shane?
I mean, obviously we're happy with the result. It looked like a 6-2 win, and we snuck an extra point, which is always nice. But I think we got an early lead and just kind of did enough to keep it. So it was a fairly stress-free game. Neither one of the teams really got on a run. So no, we're happy with the result. Obviously, we'll take it and move on to the next one.
Yeah, definitely a solid finish because as we were just talking about, every point matters when it comes to this league. So definitely a big way to squeak out that extra point there. Tyler.
Yeah, that's what they were looking for.
It's a way to get on you guys' roll there, and you guys sure the few of you guys put on the heat pretty good, especially four in a row there. And
Yeah, it's kind of
for
hard when
just
you're looking at the
three
team
hole
having with
spot
two
is
four
still
baggers at
the
you, like thrown right away. So it's a bit of a daunting task to overcome a pair of four baggers. But what are your thoughts on the rest of the match?
for the rest of the match is just we're just pushing our ball, just trying to get a couple together, and we just couldn't really do that for ourselves, and especially making our spares counts and a couple of our hits just to try to get a couple more strikes in there, but we just fell off on the other end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
pretty solid for Daryl to come in though and get that point away. Really great showing from him. And now, what are you guys planning on doing in the break for your next match?
Probably just everything and anything.
Good answer. Good
Yeah.
answer. All right. Well, we will see you very soon, and we will see the Rock and Rollers even sooner in their final match of the day.
See you shortly.
Good luck to your next match there.
Yeah, you too now.
All right, so we're gonna move over to commercial, and then we have, I believe it's Rock and Rollers and the Rebels next up. See you guys soon.
See you soon.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
Financial freedom begins with financial literacy.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm thrilled to be a sponsor. My journey began as a teacher because of my deep passion for education. I brought that same passion into the financial world to help families achieve financial freedom. Financial freedom isn't just about having more, it's about knowing more. That's why I'm here to help you make smart decisions with insurance, investing, and lending, all in one place. I'm Dave, and together we'll help you achieve financial freedom.
All right, I believe we are back.
All right,
And
we're
officially halfway through the day.
Yeah, let's get our managers in.
Shane
Hello
Chase,
again.
long time no see.
I know.
All right, so we got Rebels versus the Rock and Rollers for the next match. Rebels, do you guys have any sort of comments you'd like to make?
No, we've been watching the other team played the last 2 games. We're hoping they're getting tired a little bit, and that we're gonna get odd. But obviously they're playing great bowling right now, so we're gonna have to get we're gonna get some good shots and some good games to beat them. So we're looking forward to it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Shane, are you guys tired at all?
I am definitely tired, but I think
Yes.
everybody else is probably okay.
Well, 1 out of 5.
It's what happens when you're the old guy on the team, right?
That's right. Correct.
Right, Shane, roster or lineup for the first match?
Yeah, we're gonna go with Brandon Tibbs, Katie Wells, Mitchell Williams, myself, and then Smitty, and we'll have Brad and Courtney on our bench.
Sounds good. And Rebels?
So we're gonna go Benoit, Joel, Maud, Alex, myself. We're gonna have Eric and Erica on the bench, and Fred is scratch.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. I believe we are good to go. So why don't we get on into the match?
All right.
Best of luck,
Good luck.
everybody.
Best of luck, all. No. Oh, it helps if I pull this up. There we go.
Definitely looking forward to this one. I was gonna say we could do rosters, but they just nailed that.
Yeah. We can still do roster readouts. We'll wait for everybody to get going.
I was like, dibs out the
So,
French. Like, I am gonna butcher that.
Yeah.
All right. So for the Rock and Rollers, we still have Shane Chafe, Brandon Tibbs, Brad Glynn, Brandon Smith, Mitchell Williams, Courtney Lucas, and Katie Wells. And they are still bowling at Plaza Bowl.
Okay. Good thing they're still at Plaza Bowl.
Yeah.
They're still at Plaza Bowl.
All right. We got Quebec Rebels. So we got Alex Demure, we got Eric Villeneuve, Joel Christian. Is it? Oh gosh. Is it go by Guy? Guillaume, Seguin, Benoit Saint Laurent, Fred Martel, Maud Rondeau, and Erica Duhamel Lauren. Okay, from I don't know where they're from. Where is that?
I think I lost everybody there.
Quebec sold a I don't know. I failed French.
I'm like,
everything was just frozen for me for a second, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, what's going on?"
Well, that might be a good thing. It was not great. I'm gonna have to get like a good translation from those guys one of these days. You know, when they do readouts for like graduation ceremonies and they ask you
Now,
how
if I'm not mistaken, the Rebels, the system that they use has predictive scoring. So I believe that they predict that it's like a 10 count on a spare. I might have made that up, and maybe a 15 count on a strike. So the total is a little bit odd. We'll do our best to kind of keep that in mind. But it's definitely an interesting system. Yeah. Now, once it gets to the end of the game, it'll obviously sort itself out. But even if you're just looking at Ben's first score, he has a strike in the first frame, and it's reading that he has 30. So it is predictive. So if we're a little bit off on the score, that is why.
Yeah, because it's counting as your next ball. Is that your best for your next best ball, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be pretty impressive getting 38 pins in one ball.
Right. Obviously, with experience and with practice there, you kind of learn to expect the prediction. But I know I was very fortunate to compete at the Open there, and there was a lot of matches that I wasn't totally sure what was going on. If we were ahead, if we were behind, because of the predictive scoring. And a lot of times it was not until the very last ball that we actually knew whether or not we were winning or losing.
Right, yeah. And I'm sure this is why people think that 5-pin bowling is so confusing. They've probably like bowled in Quebec and they're like, this is weird.
Man, the amount of people when I worked at Dell that would come in and just be so confused looking at the lanes, like, what's this? I thought this was bowling. You know, this is bowling.
Well, that we get that a lot at Medicine Hat too, because we have both
We did
sides.
get clarification. It does correct, and it predicts an extra 15 on strikes and an extra 10 on spares, but only on the current
Oh.
frame.
Ah.
Thanks, Ben. I'm proud that I remembered, though. But definitely appreciate it coming from a player that is definitely there a lot more frequently than I am.
I feel like I'm getting deja vu looking at the Rock and Rollers start here.
Yeah, they have definitely found their rhythm. And as we were discussing in our little pregame chat, uh, the Rebels are definitely going to look to have a bit of fire because they've watched the Rock and Rollers for the day and see that they're shooting really well. But with the talent that's on the Rebels team, I fully expect a solid match from these two.
Damn, I'm
An
almost worried we
absolute
should have
bomb
an
from
epilepsy
LX.
warning.
Oh,
I'm almost
yeah,
worried.
their graphics are pretty fun. Well, assuming that, it doesn't bother you.
What the hell?
Those little commercial breaks are just enough to make yourself a coffee, if anyone's wondering.
Ooh, and it looks like Guillaume almost got away with that one.
Ooh.
Apologies, my cat is causing terror.
So typical cat activities.
Right.
Leave the glass alone, please. That is breakable.
That's when they just whack.
All right, so 4 marks for the Rebels versus the Rock and Rollers 5 marks.
Not a bad start. Oh, another good
And
shot.
a bomb from Brandon. So he starts off with a double. Looked as though Ben missed just a little bit to the left.
And Katie's back in. She didn't play last match.
But makes the correction and comes back with the spare.
And a good spare.
Much better start from Katie. Still on the middle, but I know in the first match she was having a hard time getting anything to kind of go together. So much better start for her.
Yeah. My guess is that, maybe she threw a few practice balls that last match that they were in and trying to find something good for her. But it looks really smooth now. It looks effortless.
So I'm assuming y'all have watched a fair bit more of the Pro League this season than I have had a chance. Is there any teams that you've been definitely trying to keep an eye on?
I lost you in the last 2 words, which I feel like were the most important of that whole question.
Are there any teams across either division that you're really trying to keep your eye on this season?
I think the Rock and Rollers have shown that they're kind of due for a lot, and they have been putting up the numbers to reflect that. So definitely keeping an eye on them. 1, because they're a solid team, and 2, because they happen to be my home team.
Fair.
Hard not to keep an eye on Next Gen. I mean, they've been dominating since the league began, so they're definitely solid. And with the new addition of Adam Weber on the team,
Oh
definitely,
yeah.
yeah, it's they have been showing some pretty dominant performances thus far in the season. I mean, a lot of
Mr.
fantastic
Mixed team.
teams. Yeah, a lot of fantastic teams in the league, but for each division, I'd say that those are the 2 that I'm personally kind of keeping a really close eye on. It's just nice to watch really good matches. And we see that from all of the teams in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, I personally don't watch a whole bunch of it all,
And a great shot from Alex there.
but yeah, definitely next gen, just because they're coming
Nice
off
little
that win
double to start.
from last season.
Oh, and
Next
a no doubter from Guillaume.
it was great shots there.
Definitely big there, where his match from the Rock and Rollers, Brandon, just had an open. Puts him ahead in the match, and the team on track for at least a good start to this game. There's now 2 frames in a row with 4 marks.
And that's kind of something you always want to do, is like, have that like minimum of like that 3-4 marks in a frame to kind of just like keep the team up.
Close one for Ben. It looked like he maybe even thought he might have gotten away with it.
A great shot.
But an absolute no doubt from Brandon. He's off to another really hot start. I know last game he started with a 4-bagger. So here he is with a turkey to start. And another good half from Ben.
I'm just kind of going through the roster, seeing if there's any other roster moves I forgot about. And one definitely to highlight would be the Matt Schultz getting picked up by the Crushers.
Yeah. With Adam going to the next gen, it definitely left a spot open for them. And I mean, Maddie's a great pickup.
Oh, definitely.
One of the
Brett
most clutch
Mapstone
anchor
picked up by
bowlers I've
them?
ever seen.
Oh yeah, Brett Mapstone's on the Bombers. That's right. That makes sense. Yeah, Matt Schultz definitely phenomenal bowler. If I remember correctly, he had a pretty good season on the tour last year as well.
And is a really accomplished candlepin bowler as well, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
If you've never gone and watched a candlepin tournament, go and do it. It will blow your mind.
I have watched one on YouTube, but
Yes.
not
Yeah.
one in person. It's interesting
Yeah,
to say the absolute
in
least.
person would be pretty difficult because if I'm not mistaken, the only places in Canada that have candlepin, I know, Nova Scotia, maybe Quebec, but I think Quebec is duck pin. But yeah, very few places that you can see candlepin in Canada. But I've been fortunate enough to follow along with Matt Schultz and Bobby Kite, actually,
Yeah,
also a very
Bobby is the
accomplished
other one that
candlepin
I knew
bowler.
of.
Yeah, that's awesome. I watched them. I think that what they had last year, they had it on like a live stream when they were in a tournament. I watched them throw. And
Couple marks to start over the 3rd frame for the Rebels. And Alex looking for that turkey, and he gets it.
I do like the fact that we have been seeing some roster shuffling a little bit throughout the seasons. Shows that teams are definitely taking it seriously and trying to give themselves a better chance at success.
And sometimes all you need is just a little bit of change of pace. It gets you more experience, more exposure. It just breathes new life into the team. I know with the Crushers pickup also came a new team name, formerly the Dream Crushers, and now they're the Crushers. Sometimes you just need a little bit of a rebrand moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen lots of teams do that, right? So like we had the Regina, they did that, and
a great frame there from the Rebels. Marks top to bottom.
Wasn't the Trash Pandas a rebrand last season as well from
last 2, yeah. So it went from the Mad Hatters were formerly Panorama, and then
Larissa would be able to answer that, but I feel like we have still lost her. I'm sure she'll be back shortly.
I hear.
Oh. I
Yep.
was like, okay. So Brandon, you hear me?
Yeah, I do hear you, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I don't hear you. Sorry, Larissa.
I was like, oh.
Complete silence. I was like, where did she go?
That would explain why we're talking at the same time. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was thinking it was just a bit of a delay, but I guess if y'all can't hear, then yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, I definitely can't hear her at all. So sorry, everybody.
World's just got to throw one more curveball because we caught up too fast.
Right.
Technology.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Okay. I'll speak to the Trash Pandas. Yeah, no, we rebranded. It was the Bandits from Holiday Bowl in Lethbridge, and then when we combined Mad Hatters and the Bandits, then we became Trash Pandas for Panorama.
Yep. Not much of a rebrand, but definitely a massive team refresh last season as well. Not to be BC biased or anything, but was the Fraser Valley Venom.
Okay.
I think the pickup from or adding Aaron King, Matt Harms, and then Dakota Heth to the roster was massive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially Aaron King and Dakota, not to shame our boy Matt, former WCBT champion and all, but I think at least from what I was watching in the first season, they were featured. Was they were struggling in the leadoff position, not really having anyone to be that solid leadoff bowler.
Right.
And since then, Aaron King has definitely taken on that role and taken it in stride.
And that just kind of just makes a difference, right? When you have just a change of pace.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like Alex has got a four-bagger going there, and against Shane, who has had back-to-back great games there. Kind of still going really good with his momentum.
I only missed just a little. I figured I'd pop out and back in to see if I could hear you again, Larissa, and I can, so that's
Yay!
great.
Perfect.
Not me thinking that I was all by myself.
Right.
I'm probably talking over you the whole time. Apologies, everybody.
Oh, that's okay.
That's all good.
Brandon is so confused at the same time. He's like, what is going on?
I was like, where did she go? I have no idea where she's been. Maybe it was me that was the problem. Probably.
I may get some messages for saying this, but I do got to say Trash Pandas has my favorite bowler on there. Good old Connor.
Oh, yeah.
First ball of the day.
Yep, first ball of the day. One of the most entertaining people to watch bowl, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. He's definitely a hoot to have around on the team, and he definitely brings a lot of energy for us. And when he starts off in lead, that's something that super helpful.
So while we wait for what appears to be a tangle, and wouldn't be surprised with the bomb that Alex just threw, Brad Glynn is going in for Brandon Smith on the bottom for the Rock and Rollers. We
And
will see him show up in the fifth frame.
I believe Eric is also going in for Joel on the Rebel side.
Okay. Now, Brad,
already using both there.
Megan, you said he had already bowled this morning, right?
He did already bowl this morning. But clearly he is all warmed up and ready to go for this last match. Or at least the Rock and Rollers last match is what I should clarify.
Right. We still have another hour and a half.
Yeah.
That was a good tangle.
Again, not totally surprised. Alex throws the ball so well and the pins just explode. So if we see tangles, they will probably be coming from him.
Yeah.
A close match overall, though. As we said early in the match, if you're just joining us, the Rebels predict scoring, so it counts an extra 15 pins for every strike and 10 pins for spares. So I assume that's an extra 45 currently for the Rebels since they have 3 strikes on the board. So that's quite a close match since they're
Oh,
the Rock and Rollers have 479.
and we have a bounce back aces for Keeling there.
Yeah. I mean, great count on the spare. Obviously, not something that you are super excited about, non-spareable, but we'll always take the extra count.
Yeah, the percentage for sparing those is quite low. Although with these harder throwers, like they give it a good try.
Hard to spare if we're not bowling at Bonnie Doon because apparently it's done quite often there.
Oh wow. Well, yeah, and Panorama, we just changed our bands on ours. Well, mind you, we didn't change it on the 2 pins, but we've had a few split spares and we've had a few 4s thrown. So it's the percentage is a little higher at certain places, I would say, for sure.
For those that are curious, Rebels total going into the 5th is 488.
Okay.
So
So
slight
it's
lead
also
for them.
counting the 15 from Alex's double? Yes.
Yeah. I had to look for one.
Maybe.
Because he'd be at what 135 right now, 45.90 plus 45, 135. Yeah, sounds right.
And then I guess technically 150 because the strike.
Mhm.
Don't quote us on math, everybody.
Yeah, right.
We've warned everyone of the predictive scoring.
We did
It's a
not.
very close match regardless.
Yeah, we did not come from the days where we had to pencil it all in, but and a good spare there from Katie.
Yeah, definitely nice for her there to get a little bit of ground in the match. I know, unfortunately, Joel missed his.
We did they sub in for Joel or no?
I believe they said
Oh,
that
I didn't
Eric
even
was going in
notice.
for Joel.
My apologies. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Eric.
Eric for Joel in 5.
I wonder if that was when I was out of the
Possibly.
out of the screen, or maybe I just was really unperceptive. Also, pretty likely. A close match here in the third line between Mitchell and Mode.
They both spare.
Yeah, a pair of spares means that the match is 3 pins apart, with Mitchell with that slight advantage.
And the Rock and Rollers setting themselves up in 5 for the commercial break here with some marks. And a great shot from Shane.
He's not getting tired.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, get tired.
Poor Alex.
That's a good one.
That or he's
That's a good
very
joke.
tired and he just wants to throw a lot less balls. And what a way to come in for Brad there.
Yeah, sometimes that mental note of if I throw a strike, it's 2 less balls I have to throw is great motivation.
Exactly. And sometimes that focus is a little bit extra too when you're like, okay, I just have to throw one to get off.
Now, when your opponent throws and starts with a 4-bagger, it's not very often that you can say that you're still in the match, but he's definitely not only in the match, but a little bit ahead potentially with the ball in hand, the count.
Yeah. Or
Right, he'd be 135 and 4, and then with a potential count, he could actually be at 150 to Alexis 148.
great shot from
Yeah, great shot from Guillaume.
Okay, so with some quick math here, 616 for the Rebels. So
To
it's 1 point
615.
difference.
Wow.
Wow.
Let's see what
All
the
right,
back half holds after the break.
sounds good.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
Financial freedom begins with financial literacy.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm thrilled to be a sponsor. My journey began as a teacher because of my deep passion for education. I brought that same passion into the financial world to help families achieve financial freedom. Financial freedom isn't just about having more, it's about knowing more. That's why I'm here to help you make smart decisions with insurance, investing, and lending, all in one place. I'm Dave, and together we'll help you achieve financial freedom.
And we're back.
Awesome. All right. Now Rock and Rollers are coming off fifth frame break here with some marks and see if they can keep that going.
The Rebels do technically have the lead in total, however, with 5 marks versus, I believe, 3. That definitely can change very quick.
Mm-hmm. As we see.
Brando does not like those breaks.
Yeah, I think that's 3 breaks, 3 head pins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. At least I'm not the only Brandon that doesn't like the break.
You're right, Tyler. Yeah. You're right, yeah. I gave too much credit, Tyler. Right?
Ooh, it looked like Ben was really trying for that spare there. He's even giggling a little bit. Wouldn't that be a TSN turning point?
Right?
A little split spare.
It's a nice thing about having this all on camera and recorded now. We can go back and have those moments you can look at and you're like, oh, that was a really funny shot, or that was a good spare.
Yeah, and like something that we were talking about in the last match is the other Newfoundland team had the very first ever 5-pin league perfect game.
Yeah.
And one of very few perfect games that you can watch start to finish because of the nature of this league recording everything. So kind of a cool little memento to have.
I do believe also after last season we had it was JB put together a montage of the sort of funny moments throughout the season, and now with the Frames of Shame crew, it seems like we might get some more consistent videos like that.
Okay, that's super cool.
will say I'm glad the Frames of Shame crew don't get to see me bowling league. They could do a whole special on me.
They'll have to do a feature. Maybe they'll have to bring in some featured people.
If I turn around and I see Aaron with a camera, I might just leave.
Another solid frame from the Rock and Rollers there, and Brad Glynn coming off the bench for the first couple of frames of his day today and starting with a double. I say first couple of frames of his day, first couple of frames of the 5-pin league. I know he's been busy bowling the rest of the day.
And that 3-hole is just they're pretty close. 2 points there.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few very close matches thus far.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great shot.
And another close match now in that fourth spot. Setting us up for what is likely to be a very close and exciting finish from both of these teams.
Indeed. Good job on Alex as well, though, for making sure that he keeps that game close.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just letting Shane run away with it.
Yeah.
And also great for Alex as well. Great for Shane as well when Alex started with a 4-bagger. And Shane is now a strike and a 5 spare. You know, he's looking for a couple of things to get him back in the game. And what better way to answer a 4-bagger with a 4-bagger of your own?
Yeah.
Oh. Ben with a 3.
I think that's 3 games in a row Brandon's done that where he goes head pin strike after the break.
Oh.
And the sea disperses. You can see all of the rock and rollers standing right behind Katie, and the second that head pin hit.
Yeah, I was just gonna make a comment on saying so nice that they're so behind her and they're cheering her on, and then they see the headband, they're like, "Oh, never mind."
That strike does solidify a decent lead for Brandon in the 1 slot. I believe
Definitely still lots of time, but it's always nice to have a bit of a lead. Oh,
he'd like that or not.
I definitely don't think he'd like that at all, but he's just happy that he got away with it.
Yeah. That's the face of that's 5 more pins than I was expecting.
Yep.
Well, it almost looked like he was sideways throwing the ball. So yeah, I think that was a great result for Eric.
Have we had any balls go through the pins yet in the Pro League?
I haven't seen anything. I don't know that anybody really throws that big of a hook or even a backup to go through that I've seen anyways.
I definitely have seen it a couple of times.
I've definitely seen it. Yeah, I've definitely seen people do it. I just don't know if I've seen it on Pro League.
Well, that strike from Mode keeps her again within 2 pins of Mitchell. They have been neck and neck this entire game.
Oh, he liked it. It's a great shot from Alex there. Oh.
Looks like that 3-pin just kind of died.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like there's a little too much oil under it and it just slid out from under itself.
Oh, and he gave it a try.
Near the end of the summer, Plaza Bowl also changed out their rubbers, and I know there was a bit of an adjustment period for them to kind of settle in. I know I've played there a couple times since, and it seems to be, starting to get worn in. but there's definitely still a little bit of time to break them in.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
You still see a few odd hits here and there, but overall it seems that they've settled in pretty well. But you'll see situations like the one we just saw from Brad there, where a solid shot just ends up in a 3-pin, dying.
Yeah, that center maintenance honestly does make a difference. Like it's possible to adjust to it and whatnot, but there's only so many things you can adjust to. You can't adjust to brand new bands on the pins. That's just you're gonna get bad breaks because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a couple months now, and obviously it's kind of returning back to before. But yeah, we still see a little bit of interesting shots now and then.
Oh,
It looks like Erica is going in for Ben. Otherwise, she just decided to walk on the lane.
yeah, right.
But no, it looks like she's going in for Ben.
Best appearance.
Phenomenal bowler and goofy foot as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she throws off of her right foot as a right-handed player.
The bocce style, as I've heard it called.
Yeah. I guess goofy is more of a skateboarding term, but
A skateboard, snowboard type term. But anytime I see a goofy foot bowler, it always makes me think of the first year the 5-Pin Universe crew did the 8-gamer singles online, and everyone watching Matt Phillip bowl for the first time.
Yeah.
a lot of very talented players and a lot of different styles. Something that I love so much about the sport itself is no two people throw the ball the same, and you can still see such success from so many different styles.
Absolutely.
Well, with that double and 8, Mitchell starts to pull away from mode.
Oh,
Obviously, still lots of time, and she can definitely bring that match back. But advantage goes to Mitchell after that double.
yeah, and then the total for the team is definitely
I'll try and do some quick math here.
Well, with the Rebels having these 2 sets of doubles on the bottom, definitely gives them the opportunity for a ton of score to throw up on the board.
Yeah, this will definitely be a big 9 for the Rock and Rollers.
Alex definitely can capitalize here too on the open.
He does.
Another absolute bomb. 8 frames, 7 no doubters, and 1 open. Not too shabby, not too shabby.
No.
Shane does technically still have the lead by 5, however. Alex is working
Advantage
on a
to
double.
Alex, yeah.
Yeah.
Great shot there.
Yeah, a solid pair of strikes on the bottom there to help add a lot more points for the Rebels. Gives them the lead overall for team total. I think, Brandon, you said you had some math going there, but if you're just joining us, the Rebels score sheet has predictive scoring. Scoring system has predictive scoring. So not 100% accurate as the current
Yeah.
up-to-date score.
So it is still quite close. We got Rock and Rollers at 991, and if my math is correct, Rebels are sitting at 1018 going into the 9th.
Yeah, very close.
Still 90 points up for grabs, though, for each player.
And even more so for those with strikes on the board.
Yes, true. We haven't really seen too many blowouts today. I think like the closest we really got was the third match between Caribou and Rock and Rollers. Definitely got a little out of hand quick.
Yeah, it seems like the individual matches have all been relatively close, or at least, with a few good marks here and there. Right back in it.
Oof, and both players on the second slot there getting head pins.
Now, it may just be my setup here, but it looks like, it might have just caught up. It looked like Katie Wells was a little bit behind what the score was saying she was doing, but I think it has officially caught itself up.
Yeah, it was the same on my end. It was a little slow. I was just taking a kind of.
Trying to pretend that I can predict the future.
Yeah.
Only a 9-pin difference on that second match there.
A huge shot from Mitchell, though. That definitely puts him well in command of this match in the third line.
And Maud's not giving up though. She threw a strike there, so
yeah, definitely still there for her. She has the possibility of getting to 283. That's her max. And Mitchell is currently sitting hand across the score.
Oh.
Head pin out of Alex. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, not a great time for that, that's for sure.
Especially when you look to have a few marks and 9 going into 10, right?
Yeah.
That's something that I've seen the Rock and Rollers be very good at, is they're very good at setting up going into 10. This might be one of the lower 9 frames that they've ever had, and they still have a couple of strikes and another mark. But they've pulled back a lot of very close games simply because they are so good at setting up that 9th frame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guillaume will be looking for another great mark here. Hopefully a strike to help set the Rebels up for their 10th.
Oh, great.
And a no doubter. I believe that's a 5 bagger for him now.
Yeah. Yahtzee? We
Little Yahtzee moment.
Coming into 10th, Brandon just needs to hit a pin to force at least a tie. Assuming that I can't remember her name.
Erica,
thank you.
no
Bags
worries.
out.
Yeah, she has a max of 240, and where Brandon is sitting with 236, not counting the spare.
Oof.
There's a strike. So that does seal up match 1.
Match 1.
Obviously, they're both looking for as many points as possible since the team total is still super close.
Yes, absolutely.
And building a lot of momentum for the matches down the line. I know we're headed into that second match where there is only a 9-point difference. So, when your teammate is playing really well, puts up a big score in the 10, helps develop a little bit of momentum and confidence going into those final 3 balls.
Oh, yes, absolutely. A good game there for Brandon.
Yeah, a good day for Brandon, actually.
Yeah, he really took command in that leadoff.
All right, 9 pins in the difference, with Eric having 9 pins on Katie. Ooh, it looked like it might have been there, but not quite. An exploding shot from Eric, but somehow it didn't touch that right corner pin.
Oh, I'm finding that head pin on Rebel's side like bouncy, especially if they hit the head pin. It likes to come back and almost hit a few extras.
Well, that will seal the deal for the second line. That match goes to the Rebels.
So sitting 1-1 at the moment.
Oh, we have a towel back.
Welcome back, Towel.
Well, we know that Mitchell has 155 and a turkey. So even though we can't see it through the towel. Oh, there we go. They heard us.
They just want us guessing some more. That's okay. Oh, did he get? What did he get? Oh, he got a left. Okay.
The way that he was kind of punching the air, it looks as though
Yeah.
it was quite heavy, but a solid count that solidifies the match because Mode can max at 283 and he's currently sitting 284, so really big there. But the count is also huge for that bottom line because as we're getting closer to the end and that predictive scoring is no longer predicting, you can see that it's getting really close.
Yes, absolutely. And
But a huge couple of strikes from Mode.
Yeah, those are huge.
Coming down to the wire. But a great game from both of the players in that third spot.
Yes, a good finish.
Yeah, huge finish. So after the first 3, we're currently sitting 2-1 for the Rock and Rollers. Though technically, I guess 2-2, whereas the Rebels have that bottom line sewn up.
Yeah.
But they'll definitely be looking for this fourth line here. Because that could be the difference between the team total.
Absolutely. And Alex throws a hammer.
Absolute bomb. Ooh, and Shane's head pin.
If I could put anybody to answer Alex's call, it would have been Shane. Unfortunately, he's a little thick on that middle.
Yeah, that will all but end the match for Shane. And no spares. So that match will go to the Rebels.
Yeah, great game. Yeah. Shane threw really well today, though, too.
Super well. 922, I believe.
Yeah.
Very solid day from him. So in terms of individual matches, this will be 3-2 for the Rebels. And that will all but seal the rest of the match.
Yeah. Great showing from the Rebels today.
Yeah, huge way to come out, especially when they're looking at this very hot Rock and Rollers team.
Yeah.
But they came out absolutely firing. I mean, Guillaume currently has what I believe is a 6-bagger.
6-pack, yeah. Oh.
Commentator's curse.
Yeah. A 6-bagger, yeah, that's what it was.
And of course, a tangle with a couple of balls left in the match.
It's
Because
nice.
why not?
Yeah. It's nice to see that the Rebels, came out so hot the way they did, because I know we were talking about how, you have that one game and you kind of have to find your groove, and it looks like the Rebels, found that groove really quickly.
And I think that was exactly the difference between this whole match. They found that groove, they stayed in it, and they take a 6-2 win over the Rock and Rollers.
Yeah, the Rebels will definitely be happy with that.
Solid day from the Rock and Rollers overall, though. 6.5 in game 1, and 7 in game 2, and 2 in his third match of the day.
Oh, yes. That'll put them at the top of the leaderboard, I believe. Which they're not unfamiliar with.
This is very true. Why, hello. The man,
Hey.
the myth, the legend himself.
The legend is a bit early for that, I guess, but yeah.
It was a pretty legendary performance by the Rebels, though. What are your thoughts on the match?
Great match overall. Very hard fought match, basically. Very fortunate on 9 for Guillaume to strike there, because we had a big struggle for him overall. Got at least one double going, so that helped a lot. And then good rally on the 10th frame too for us.
Yeah, we were actually just saying that it was a really big shot for him in 9, particularly because it was leading into that 10th. And then a really solid showing from all of you in the 10th frame to put you over the top for that win.
Yeah.
Shane and guest
Hey.
Grace, it looks like.
But you know,
What are your thoughts
it's
on the
YouTube.
game?
I mean, it's a close game. Came down to the 10th frame there, I think, where we were a little behind. The scoring system made it difficult to know kind of exactly where we were, but we were kind of working math here. But no, it was a close game. It was a good matchup.
And a great day overall for the Rock and Rollers. What are your thoughts on the day?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're 4-1 to start now, and our 4 wins were really solid. I think we got 8 and 8, 2 sevens, and a 6.5. So, we're sitting in a really good spot after 5 games. So that's all we can ask for.
Grace, what are your thoughts on your dad's performance today?
Well, she can't hear you. Okay, now go.
What are your thoughts on Dad's performance today, Grace?
Okay.
It was okay. A 922 triple is pretty okay. Awesome. Well, great job to both of you guys. Congratulations, the Rebels, on your 6-2 win. And we've got one match to go. So best of luck for the rest of your day, I guess. Have fun since you guys are done. And we will see you next time.
Yeah, see you guys. Good luck.
All right, one match to go, Larissa. That's it.
Woohoo, we're in the home stretch now.
Be back with Roses and Thunder. Let's go.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
Financial freedom begins with financial literacy.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm thrilled to be a sponsor. My journey began as a teacher because of my deep passion for education. I brought that same passion into the financial world to help families achieve financial freedom. Financial freedom isn't just about having more, it's about knowing more. That's why I'm here to help you make smart decisions with insurance, investing, and lending, all in one place. I'm Dave, and together we'll help you achieve financial freedom.
All right, we're back.
Match of the day.
Yeah, 4:04. Here we go. And way ahead of time, even with the late start. Look at us go.
We're the other.
Well, here's a couple of familiar faces. Been a quick minute since we've seen you. How was your break, everybody?
A little
Well
long.
needed.
A little long, but needed. Yeah.
Did we get some practice teams?
I think they just started practicing now. It's football Sunday. This is like getting into like Rich and Daryl and Derek and Parker's territory right now. So we're not sure about Cello yet.
Priorities.
Like Cello went home and had a nap, and he just came back.
Maybe exactly what he needed, though.
True.
Maybe.
I know, Thunder, you said you guys needed a bit of a break. What did you guys get up to?
Most of us just hung around here, visited, yeah, threw some balls, and I went to Timmy's for breakfast.
Nice.
Yeah,
Also
nothing too crazy here.
We have a private party right now. Santa's here right now.
Oh,
Yep.
Santa.
What do the Topplers wish for Christmas?
Well, mine is for a Sunday sleep in, but I can't speak for the other ones. Probably fantasy football wins, if I'm thinking right. Bowling would never come into question for anybody on their wish list. So lottery wins, I don't know. Parker, maybe a date or two.
All right. Do we want to get into our
This is a
lineups?
great lead into rosters or to our
Yeah.
lineups.
Do you want to start off here?
I'll go. We have Parker, Michaela, Daryl, Christine, Derek, with Cello and Rich on the bench.
we have Daryl, Charlene, Kevin, Dustin, and Tyler, with Caleb and Sylvia on the bench.
Excellent. Well, looking forward to see the final match of the day. Best of luck to both of you.
Perfect. Good luck, guys.
And we'll see you soon.
Have fun.
Good luck. Thanks. See you.
All right, 10 frames left of the day.
So Thunder changing up their lineup a little bit from the first match that they had here. Seeing if that'll help them out.
I think the microphone on my right AirPod is broken.
We can hear you though, so that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hope my left one lasts long enough.
Both of these
That's good
teams
to know.
looking for a win today. They both just faced the Rock and Rollers, and unfortunately, were not successful in beating them. So we'll have to see who is victorious for this face-off, the final one of the day.
All right, great.
Yeah, great shot from Parker there.
I'm forgetting roster readouts. Do we want to do roster readouts real quick?
Oh, yes.
Sure.
All right. Who wants to go for Toppler?
I can take Toppler, or you could go ahead.
All right, so for Toppler, we got Parker Anderson, Rich Weber, Derek Holm, Marcello Jursic, and we got Daryl Wood, Christine Poksa, Michaela Sanderson with their manager Stacy Weber from Toppler Bowl in Calgary.
And for the
And
Caribou?
the Caribou Thunder. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sure, I'll read it. Okay. We got Kevin McAlpine, Tyler McLean, Charlene Wige, Caleb Seduliak. Okay. Dustin Morrison, Sylvia Bush, Daryl Hansen, Madison Richter, managers Kevin Tyler, bowling at a Caribou Bowl.
I feel like my sound might be delayed because both of you were speaking, and then I was like, "Oh crap, you guys are speaking."
Okay.
It's all good.
Well, solid start from both teams thus far. A couple of strikes.
Couple strikes, couple splits. This is a nice potential spare to have, the 10 spare.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Bit of a shuffle
Oh,
in
and
terms
he
of
gave it a
position.
shot too.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. I just realized what that was.
Yeah, he gave it a very good chance.
It's a fun way to get 10. Bit of a shuffle in terms of positioning for the Caribou Thunder.
Yeah.
I believe they had Dustin up top in the first game, and then Kevin anchor. They moved Tyler down to anchor.
Yes.
I think that's something that is, again, comes with a lot of practice and experience. When they had a bit of a rough match against the Rock and Rollers, that's the time that you want to start playing with who's playing well, what can we do to kind of shake things up so we can be successful in the next match. So cool to see that that they've changed it up a bit.
Absolutely.
We'll see how they work together in this new lineup.
Yeah, especially early in the season too. You kind of want to have a feel for like what lineup is going to work for you, like going down the next few games that you play.
For sure. And I feel the second I opened my mouth is when all of the head pins came. So
we can't take all the curses.
we had all the technological curses today. So
Yeah. Huge shout out to Carrie for saving us there. I don't know if you can still hear us or not. If you can, thank you so much.
regardless if he can or can't, thank you to Carrie for everything that he does with the 5-Pin Universe and the 5-Pin League. Leave us a comment in the chat. Yay, Carrie.
Hashtag yay, Carrie.
Yeah, honestly, mad respect to Carrie for not only doing everything but figuring everything out and then teaching the rest of us how to do these things so that we can help take some of the load off of him.
Absolutely.
He's an all right kind of guy. Well, solid start for the Thunder and an unfortunate head pin for Daryl.
And Parker like he's finding a good shot there with another strike.
Yeah, like we were talking about in the last match, when he hits the side of the head pin, they just explode. He's got
Yes.
so much rotation on the ball.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way in Red Deer 2 years ago.
I think Daryl might have heard Stacy talking about football, because unfortunately he went down the hole twice on his head pin.
Field goal.
Right?
Unfortunately, getting it through the uprights in bowling doesn't count for very much.
Michaela did not hit that note.
I just need to stop talking about head pins because clearly they are contagious like yawns. And a better shot from Charlene there in her second shot.
She liked that one, yeah, way better than
Yeah.
little skinny one from Daryl there.
Great execution, though. You could see that he was pretty solid at the line. For Daryl, at least.
Again, though, Toppler Roses, their middle hit percentage, just right bang on with what they had their last game.
Yeah, super high.
Ooh. Kind of ripped off there for Kevin.
I could watch Christine bowl all day. Walking off the lane, knows it's a strike. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, her throw is so effortless, right?
And just the confidence. I love it. Half off the lane before it's even down because she knows it's a strike. I'm here for it. I'd say the same for Derek, but the ball has hit the pins before he's even recognized he's thrown it. So. But he knew 100% that was a strike. Hand out, sweeping the pins. Great second frame from the Roses.
And better start this game than their last one for the Thunder. They've got a few marks going. First and
You're reading my mind. I was thinking the same thing. Ooh, that was an odd hit.
I do wonder if, because I know the that Cubica AMF scoring system that Caribou has is the same one out in Red Deer, and they have the actual speed. I wonder if anyone actually really pays attention to that to see if they're over or under throwing their ball.
All right. Yeah. I know a few people that kind of do. They're like, oh, if it's a little higher than normal, they know that that's kind of what they were feeling on the lane. And no, we get that too. We have the speed here in Medicine Hat, and some people pay attention to that.
I know they shut it off at Scottsdale because they were worried about people seeing that and trying to go for a high score.
Oh yeah, like a highest throwing ball, like the speed. Yeah. That does happen.
Great frame though from the Thunder. One open.
Absolutely.
But 4 marks. So a lot of things to build off of heading into the rest of this match.
Ooh.
Ooh, and it looked like a
Daryl
little bit of a break there. Yeah.
Daryl just sacrificed his frame to the gods, so to the bowling gods, so the rest of the team could prosper.
Football gods. But a little break from him there. It looked like it was quite a heavy hit, and he got away with a chop off there.
And Parker with a turkey.
And Daryl covers the chop spare. No chopped cherries here.
No. So out of the 3 that they've had.
Now I want cherry pie, damn it.
Oh, and a great shot from Charlene. Love the little like self clap.
That should almost be an animation for the chop cherry. Put the cherry pie on there.
Chop cherry t-shirts.
Yeah.
5-Pin Pro League merch.
True.
Don't forget. I believe, at least for the Northern Knockouts, the lowest size that I saw was a toddler 2. So if you got any friends with kiddos that you need last minute Christmas gifts from, I don't know if you'll get them in time, but I know the boys at Bradson do their absolute damnedest to get everyone their stuff on time.
Santa's currently at Toppler Bowls, so ask him for your favorite
Exactly.
Five Pin League merch.
The Roses are probably pushing that on them there.
And the Thunder keep up this momentum. They've had a lot of marks in a row. That's 7.
Make that
8. Look at us go.
I'm saying right now, there's no commentator curse.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that break did them well. They were able to kind of collect themselves, regroup, throw a few balls, figure out some things, and they seem to have come out absolutely swinging. Oh my goodness.
A huge shot.
I couldn't tell if that was a left or a 3-pin that slid over. But what we thought was a strike is I guess, a corner pin for Tyler.
And he gets it.
Yeah, solid frame there for the Thunder.
I'm just trying to think. I know we've got at least 3 tournament winners, 2 of which being on the actual WCBT tour. Tyler having the Dawson Creek Peace River North singles something or other.
That's
I can't remember the full
professional
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the full name, but Dawson Creek's tournament over at Hypertension last year. Derek, obviously, with his back-to-back Manitoba Open wins, finally deciding to give somebody else a chance this year.
Congratulations, Ryan Bourne and runner-up Brian O'Callahan.
That was a hard one to watch, I'm not going to lie.
And Parker just won the Regina Classic last year.
Yes, Parker. Yeah. I believe he also had a couple of really good tournament performances this year as well so far. Like, I think I saw him pretty high up there in, was it TPC or was it Autumn Open?
Both.
Both?
I remember he was in Sunday finals for TPC for sure.
A lot of talent on our lanes, and they're showing us exactly how talented they are.
Yeah.
Rose is absolutely demolishing the middle. And Thunder's putting together marks on marks on marks.
Yes.
Looked like Charlene might have laid that ball down just a little bit. So she'll be looking to get back to basics for this next shot. Oh, and out of her hand, it looked a lot better. And she capitalizes and grabs that spare.
Just keeping them rolling.
And a great shot from Derek there on the bottom. He's got the double going into the 4th. Setting up his team for success at the top for the Roses.
Oh, I thought that was a very thick shot from Michaela there. Almost aces.
I'm not even sure Michaela knew what was to be expected when she let go of that one.
Yeah, I think a right is something worth taking there. I think you'd be pretty happy with that.
And unfortunately, Thunder running into their first Open in almost 2 full frames. But a little bonus count there for Kevin with the head pin kickback.
And not a bad spot, like not too terrible to have it. Like Daryl had that Open in 3.
And 6 count. Nope.
Speaking of Daryl Wood just went up for the Roses through a great shot, and it looked like that 3-pin just decided to die, leaving him with a left corner pin.
And he'll look to pull ahead in that match a little bit with that spare.
Oh.
That looks like a great shot.
Yeah, safe.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was just doing with his arms.
Definitely a much better start from the Caribou Thunder this game.
Yeah, I feel like their lineup here is like something that they could gel with for quite some time.
And like we were saying, sometimes that break is exactly what you need to have a chance to regroup and get everything firing the way that you know you can fire. And clearly, it benefited the Thunder because they are off to a thunderous start.
Gave them a bit of a chance to wake up from the morning.
See, this is mind-boggling to me because it's 4 p.m. in Newfoundland,
Right.
so I'm like, morning.
Yeah, no, it is 11:22 currently on the West Coast.
Yeah, I was like, I've just had lunch over here.
It's almost dinner time for us.
We're all having our meals.
5-pin league, bringing everybody across the country together.
Yeah.
Ooh, Derek Holm almost spared that split just there. At least gave it a very good effort. With how fast he throws the ball, that's not overly surprising. And we're heading to the last frame before the commercial break. Let's see what these teams can throw up to set themselves up for that back half.
5-point lead currently for the Caribou.
And a little kickback for Parker on the Roses.
Get lucky.
Yeah, it looked like the 3-pin bounced off the back wall and came and nicked the back of the 2-pin. Or maybe not the 3-pin, but a pin.
Oh, Michaela.
Oh, a super crunchy one from Michaela.
I always get nervous whenever I see the 3-pins fall the way they did there. Tops
Yeah,
down
that
and it's
one
just
I
the bases
think
rolling.
I think she needs to take a really good breath on that one because that was heavy.
Now they're building momentum of all those, great shots and stuff. So
And sometimes all it takes is that one little moment, TSN turning point. You get that little kickback from Parker, you get a cracking heavy strike from Michaela, and then, things just start rolling. The momentum carries everything forward. Looked like a great ball from Charlene, but backed up just a little bit too much. An unfortunate head pin there in 5.
Those really cruncher ones are always nice to get and whatnot, but you get too many of them in a row and you start to worry whether you're gonna stay invincible or not.
right.
Certain houses I find definitely reward the heavier ball. Others not so much.
Well, Michaela throws with such power and force too that she ends up getting away with quite a few crunchy ones.
Yeah.
Just because she pushes all those pins back with her power.
It's a great shot from
Great. We're on the same wavelength. I was
Woo.
just getting ready to say the same. Great shot from Kevin.
It's about the longest I think I've ever seen Derek Holm take on the approach. I would pay double for a shift to guarantee that I bowl with him, Len Anseth, and Dexter Wiseman on the same set.
Super fast.
Never have to wait for a ball.
Mm-mm.
When it comes to lane draws, I try not to let the speed of anybody affect me, but I know I'm more of like I don't want to be too fast, but I don't want to be too slow. And I feel like that's just a lot of fast, a lot of really quick finishes from them.
Yeah.
See
Wouldn't have time
that's
to catch my
perfect for
breath.
me. See, that's perfect for me because the less time I spend up there, the less time I have to think, the less time I have to get in my head.
Fair enough. Little science moment. Your brain can actually only focus on one thing without going off topic for 10 seconds. So if you're on the lane for longer than 10 seconds, your brain has already gone off. Biology with Megan.
You learn something new every day.
Now,
I
that's
learned
not to
two.
say that you can bring your attention back after it wanders, but
Yeah.
biologically speaking, you don't totally want
Another
to have that happen.
Give me
I've
10
learned
more.
two things today. I've learned that and that Shadow PC only has one West Coast server. Both very valuable lessons.
Very.
Ooh. Tyler does get the kickback at least for the bonus 2.
Yeah, and as we said, count is always so important on those strikes.
And not so hot going into their commercial break here for the Thunder. They'll probably be looking to come back with some marks, and then
Yeah,
Rose.
on the middle, but unfortunately just too much so
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
the Roses and their 4 strikes. But still a very close match, 586 to 570 going into the commercial break.
Yep.
We'll see you
Let's,
all when we come back.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
Financial freedom begins with financial literacy.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm thrilled to be a sponsor. My journey began as a teacher because of my deep passion for education. I brought that same passion into the financial world to help families achieve financial freedom. Financial freedom isn't just about having more, it's about knowing more. That's why I'm here to help you make smart decisions with insurance, investing, and lending, all in one place. I'm Dave, and together we'll help you achieve financial freedom.
Believe we are back.
All
We are
right.
back and ready to go for the final 5 frames of the day.
As much as I enjoy this, I am definitely glad we're almost done because my desk is currently not set up, so I'm doing all of this on the floor, and my knees are not
Oh,
very happy with me.
yeah, I dare say.
Joys of parenthood. Ugh. Everything gets disorganized in a minute.
I bet.
I feel like that's just a great description of life as an adult.
Well, and then the travel back and forth hasn't helped us much at all, so. Ugh.
great start after the break for the Roses. Double coming from both Parker and Michaela.
And just an unfortunate chop for Daryl there again.
And I believe our first missed chop spare of the match.
Yeah.
Highly impressive. Highly impressive.
Kind of looking at the shoes there, maybe stuck a little bit.
As someone who relies so very heavily on my slide, I definitely sympathize with that.
Yeah.
I was definitely an unfortunate victim of the Open Nationals this year.
Oh,
Fell
no.
on my face more than a couple of times.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's never fun. I pretty much destroyed my knee last year in Winnipeg, stuck on the one lane nobody had been sticking on all night. That was not fun.
One thing I hope to not do is like blow out my knee.
It's not fun, let me tell you, especially trying to go through airport security.
Were you
with a blown out knee?
Oh yeah, sir, can you hurry up? Oh, trust me, I wish I could.
Oh, I was like, is it bionic or like what's going on in there?
No, not yet. You know, one more ACL or MCL tear it might be at this rate.
Just hobbling along.
Sir, the lineup behind you is getting quite long. Yeah, well, trust me, I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be.
I'm not intentionally doing this.
Well, these teams are certainly not hobbling along. Tons of marks being thrown up. It was a really great shot from Kevin there for the double.
The Roses are definitely responding to the Thunder's immaculate open.
Yeah, and I believe they've actually caught up and surpassed the Thunder as of this moment.
Yeah.
Still a very, very close match. Only a handful of pins separating them, but they've definitely cut that deficit down and are now in control of the match. Though technically, can you ever be fully in control? There's so much that can happen here.
Right. Especially
But
with
no, they having a hold on the lead is always a benefit. And marks on marks, they are currently up about 35.
Yeah.
36. I was like, where's the score? I was a close guess. Great shot from Daryl.
It's kind of one of the nice things about bowling is it quite literally is never over until it's over.
Until it's mathematically over. And even then, I mean, things happen. I almost lost a team match at Nationals by very nearly fouling. Had I fouled, we would have lost. So until it's officially over, it's never over.
Yeah.
I lost to Parker due to a foul in doubles at Red Deer.
Not good times. Never over until it's over.
Not gonna name names, but there was another bowler who unfortunately fouled twice, costing him a match.
Good cover there from Charlene.
Yeah, it definitely keeps her in the match there as well. Obviously, Michaela picking up that spare is really big.
Brings it right close, yeah.
Yeah, keeps her within 15. So 1 ball. And again, it looks like the break did the Thunder pretty well because they've come out throwing very well since we've returned.
Yeah, it seems like Thunder likes the breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin has the turkey now to prove it. Then again, so does Parker. So clearly the break doesn't phase him either. And a lot of really close matches on the board right now. Apart from that top line that Parker has some pretty quality control out of, every other match is quite close.
Cool. Great shot there from Dustin.
I've definitely noticed that Parker has made a lot of improvements in terms of finishing his games.
And I think so much of that also just comes with, um, I don't even really know the word, like experience, yes, but understanding your shot and like being able to, he's been such a strong competitor for so long, and he'd been knocking on the door for so long. Um, and once he was able to pull out the win at Regina, you almost see like a level of calmness on him that we haven't seen in recent years. And
Yeah.
it's just made him an even better bowler because he trusts that he knows what he's doing. He trusts that he's capable. He knows that he's capable. And even if he has a moment of doubt, he's able to just bounce right back because he knows he's got the skill to go behind it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That confidence, that proving to yourself that yes, you can do this thing. You don't just think you can do this thing is massive.
It's
Yeah.
also why you often see so many people knocking on the door of a win for so long, and then once they win, it's wins all around.
Well, we've
Same
even
thing.
seen
People
that
who are
this season
knocking on
with
the door of like a 300 game or a 400 game, and it's so hard to get there. And then the second you do, they just come in droves.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we've even seen another similar story like that with Evan Lecoussier this season. Took the win over at Autumn Open, and then since then has had multiple pretty high finishes throughout the rest of the tour.
Yeah, it just like helps develop that confidence and something that, sometimes it's hard to just create confidence out of nothing. Um, so having even just one successful tournament, one win, can help develop that confidence so that in those times of struggle, I've got this. I know what I'm doing, and clearly he does in this match. I mean, he's got over 100 pins headed into these final two frames for his individual match, which is also helping the Roses stay ahead in the team total. And the Roses' high hit percentage on the middle is turning into a ton of strikes and a ton of marks.
Just continuing.
Yeah, they had been knocking on the door for a while. I mean, the last match we saw them have a super high middle hit percentage and just not able to get anything going, not able to get those pins to carry, but definitely not the same this game. They've found their groove and they're sticking with it. Maybe that's what they were asking Santa for.
Early
I don't know, he's there. I'd be asking for 8 points.
Now, don't be greedy. I mean, you always want to play for 8. That's always the goal. It's never
Yeah.
play for, a couple of points. You always want to take every point that's out there.
I have noticed we have very seldom seen 8-point victories throughout, I think, even all 4 seasons
Though,
of
if
the
I'm
Pro
not
League so far.
mistaken, in the playoffs, I want to say 2 seasons ago, I think it was the Roses that were a part of one of the most insane matches I've ever seen in the playoffs. It was a 2-match total points format. And I might be mistaken. I think it was the Roses. But there was an 8-0 sweep, which means in order to take it to anything, it needs to also be an 8-0 sweep from the opposing team. And that's exactly what happened. And it came down to the 10th frame for the tiebreaker, which was total pinfall. And it was within a ball or two uh, that the total pinfall was the tiebreaker. So 8-0 is extremely hard. And for it to happen twice in one match was pretty insane.
Yeah, those are the stats and highlights that you like to see, right? Those are what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, as we were coming down to the last couple of frames, we didn't even know what to say. We were like, this is unreal bowling right now.
Well,
But exactly what you expect when you're watching a league like the 5-pin league. The quality
exactly.
of bowling is just so high that you never know what to expect. And yeah, we might just be throwing balls at pins, but it's exciting.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I say to anyone who doesn't think bowling is exciting, like, go sit at a bowling alley during a tournament, and trust me, you'll get invested.
Exactly.
But there's really two sides to the coin with it as well. With the 8-0 is, yeah, you don't see it very often, which is a good thing because that means that the skill level is so close. But it's also kind of cool in some sense to see a team just put on that dominant of a performance.
Yeah.
So.
Super interesting for sure. What a silly game. I mean, even just looking at Tyler, he threw an absolute bomb of a ball and got roasted, but was able to cover that spare. So Thunder have 4 spares going into the 9th frame to the Rose's 4 marks, a couple of strikes there. And both of our leadoff bowlers start off with strikes.
Definitely good on Daryl for not getting discouraged looking over at the monster he's facing and making sure he gets the pins for the bottom line.
Yeah, 100%. It's a whole other level of mental strength because, I mean, the match is quite clearly over the individual point, but you still have to focus on every single point possible for that bottom line because anything can happen and every point matters. And another pair of strikes from our second line. See, this just makes our job easy. They just throw
Exactly.
strikes and spares and
Ooh.
Ooh.
Went behind the 2-pin there.
Yeah, it was a bit of an odd hit. It looked like it wasn't the best ball that he's thrown today, but it looked like it was good enough to carry, but he covers the spare regardless.
Yeah, and Thunder are setting up a really good 9 here as well.
For sure. And that strike from Kevin helps him stay in that match.
The unfortunate physics of bowling, sometimes the 3-pin just decides to go on a hot air balloon ride.
A little hiatus.
Through the closet off to Narnia.
Great shot. Then
My camera froze as he let go of the ball, but it looked like such a good delivery that I was like, that must be a strike. And then
great.
caught up to what was obviously a strike. So clearly the execution was there. And another great shot for a solid 9th frame for the Thunder.
Almost got our first to the bar frame.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't had one yet today with the amount of quality bowling we've seen.
And another chop spare for Thunder. Great frame.
Yeah, these players are putting on a show, showing us chop stars are not that hard. We can make them. Why can't you?
And Rose is not backing down. They all have marks so far coming into 9.
And great scores put up as well.
Absolutely. Oh, Derek did
Have
not
we
like.
had any substitutions either? I
No.
don't think we have.
Kind of hard
mean-
to substitute when everyone's playing well.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And especially when the matches are very close.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Looked like it was a little bit better than that first one. But looked like he knew right out of his hand that it was not there. So that will give the advantage to Tyler for that bottom line. On the board, he's 1 pin and a ball ahead of Derek. So definitely gives him the advantage heading into those final 3 balls.
I'd also like to point out that Parker is pretty much the entirety of the lead for the Roses, barring 15 points.
Yeah. Yeah, like we were saying, every match down the line is super close except for that top line.
Ooh.
Oh, and a great shot from Daryl. It looked like it was better than it actually ended up being on the pins, but
another great shot from Parker.
Yeah, and a massive game from him this game. I mean, that's 360 already on the board with a ball in hand. The only other game that was this high was Shane Chase in the first with 371. And then we did have Guillaume from the Rebels shooting a 339 last game, but Parker with a huge 375 to help catapult the Roses in that total.
I just realized also, I lied. Parker literally was the entire lead.
Yeah, insanity.
It's seldom that you see one bowler making that big of a difference in terms of a team performance. But
But
definitely
it
speaks
happens
to his
as
definitely
he
speaks to
just
his
showed. It
skill.
happens. Yeah.
And Charlene looking to grab some points. She liked it.
Yeah, and that was a huge shot there. There's still a lot of work to be done, but there's still the possibility of her coming back for this match, depending on what Michaela does.
Ooh, that was anyone from Michaela.
And no longer.
Yeah.
But still a huge shot for Charlene. And great touch from Michaela there to grab that spare and take that second line.
And a good finish.
Good job on
Anything
Parker,
can
Michaela.
happen, but that will make it all but impossible for the Thunder to come back for pins or total pinfall.
Yeah. It's a little bit too out of reach now. I mean, technically speaking, it's not.
Technically, it's not, but it's
With
a lot of work. But now we're just going to be. I'm sure they're focusing on getting every point that they can manage.
Yeah, that's a
Trying to
good start for Kevin
maximize
there.
whatever point. Absolutely. That strike and 9 is so huge because it's such a foundation frame. Not only just because you're leading into 10, but all it takes is that first strike and 10, and now you're setting yourself up for a massive jump in score. So
Well, that strike at 9 sets you up for a potential 90 in your last two frames.
yeah,
So.
exactly.
That was a really close one. Wow.
Yeah, and great bowling from both teams. Both players. Insanely close.
One pin difference.
One pin.
One pin. And that'll give a point to the Thunder in that fourth line. And it all comes down to Tyler and Derek on the bottom to see if this is going to be a 6-2 or 7-1. Again, Tyler with the pin and ball advantage.
Derek, knowing Derek, wants to put some pressure on him, and we'll have the 3 good shots here.
Yeah, he'll definitely be looking for at least a mark here. Oh, and he had no doubt about that one. This is actually 2 matches in a row today for Tyler coming down to the 10th frame. Ooh, he thought that was a good one too, but unfortunately, just not enough.
That seals it for Tyler there.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Well, now he just needs to hit
the pin.
And he does.
There we go.
Froze a little bit there, and I was like, did he?
Well, the tables turned. He was the unfortunate victim of the 10th frame last game, but was able to throw what he needed in 10 to grab a point for his team.
Yeah.
And take the Thunder to 2 points. Rose is 6, Thunder 2 in the final match of the day.
So, just waiting on our managers to hop back in here and we can start closing everything out.
Like we're ahead of time.
by
Yeah.
a large margin.
Yeah.
With the late start, even. Look at us go. Definitely huge thanks to Carrie for keeping us caught up there.
And big thanks to the teams for throwing all the strikes.
That as
And for
well,
being
yeah.
ready to go when we were
Yeah.
ready to go.
Oh, we
Well,
got
hey,
Stacy back.
Stacy.
Hey,
Hello.
what's
It looks
that?
like Santa might have brought you what you were wishing for in the break.
Well, I mean, they were hoping for fantasy football. Parker's going on. He said one date would be good. Daryl wants a lottery win. Cello's super hungover, so he can't talk. I don't know. A win for me was okay.
Yeah, 6-2 win. What are your thoughts on the match, Stace?
We still plowed a lot, you guys. You see the first like 4 frames, I was like, ooh, but yeah, you know what? They're good. We whipped Parker into shape, and we had a few questionable corners, but that's what happens in Pro League.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had been talking about it as well. Like you guys were all over the middle all day, and all it was going to take was a tiny little shift to get those strikes to go, and then clearly you found it in that that back half there.
Yeah, a couple breaks, right? And you have to be lucky to be good too, I always say, and that's just what happened. We had a couple lucky strikes there with them weird corner pins. That must be the cold weather here. I don't know, or Santa.
Santa.
Little Christmas
Must be
magic.
Santa.
Thunder. What a hot start. What are your thoughts
Oh,
on the
yeah.
match?
Well, it was a way better throwing game for us than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take this game and work on it.
Yeah, we were definitely talking about how is very well put together. A lot of marks on marks.
Mhm.
Just ran into, like we were talking to Stacy, ran into them finding the side of the head pin and carrying a lot of strikes. I mean,
Yeah.
Parker with a 375 doesn't hurt, but
Yeah, for sure.
It really was anyone's game throughout pretty much the entirety of it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of close matches. We just, we need to work on some things. So,
Yeah, it's early in the
Cool.
season for you guys too, right? For both teams to,
Yeah.
find sound and see what you guys kind of need to work on going through the season. But yeah, good start from both.
and an entertaining match for us. So thank you guys so much. It made our jobs really easy. You guys were throwing tons of marks, so really appreciate that.
oh, yeah. No problem.
Hey, what?
Oh, I think we might have lost Stacy, or I lost Stacy.
Oh, Stacy's definitely frozen.
Oh,
Now
there
she's
she is.
Oh, she's
There she
back. Is she back?
Well, phenomenal. Oh,
Maybe.
is she?
Anyway, thank you guys all so much. We really appreciate it.
Phenomenal bowling by all today.
Thank you guys for
Thank you,
commentating.
guys.
Appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you next time.
You betcha.
Right.
Great. Have
Take
a
care,
good night.
everybody.
Thanks, Stacy.
All right. Well, that was a phenomenal day of bowling, I would say.
It was fantastic. Tons of strikes, a lot of exciting matches. Can't ask for a whole lot more. And we're ahead of schedule even after starting late. So
Yep.
what more can you ask?
Thanks all for bearing with me on that one.
Oh, no, we appreciate you. You did great.
I tried. Took me a minute to get back into the rhythm of things.
Now go stretch out that back.
Yeah.
Oh, I plan on it. I plan on it.
And thank you to
I
all
think
of
we
you
got-
for tuning in for the 5-pin league. We look forward to seeing you all next time.
Next week. I believe I will be back next week, assuming nothing changes.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Next
I'll try and have everything fixed by then also. All right, I think we got one more ad break to run here, and then we get to say goodbye. So I will say goodbye to you guys for now. Thank you for, again, bearing with everything.
We'll see y'all next time. Take care.
See y'all next week. Enjoy your rest of your days.
Bye.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
Financial freedom begins with financial literacy.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm thrilled to be a sponsor. My journey began as a teacher because of my deep passion for education. I brought that same passion into the financial world to help families achieve financial freedom. Financial freedom isn't just about having more, it's about knowing more. That's why I'm here to help you make smart decisions with insurance, investing, and lending, all in one place. I'm Dave, and together we'll help you achieve financial freedom.